In 1819, one of the country's founding fathers opened a public university that became a pillar of the Charlottesville community. Over 2 centuries later, Charlottesville High School is decked out in orange and blue for UVA night between the 20-8 Charlottesville Tom Sox and 17-9 Harrisonburg Turks. All right, welcome everybody to the broadcast booth. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabral, along with you guys for this special evening as we celebrate Virginia and Matt. So far this season, the VBL, it's been mostly the Tom Sox atop of the standings. Now, as we get to this back 30% of the season, the Tom Sox only have the VBL standings by 2 games, with the Express right behind them, and Harrisonburg Turks also right there.
Like you just mentioned, Mike, since day one, the Tom Sox top of the league, top of the standings, and right now, late into the season, where we just have about I would say around like 12 to 15 games left, depends on where your team is and how many games you have to make up. It's only a 2-game lead now for the Tom Sox. Those Turks have came all the way back. They've been behind the Tom Sox for the last few weeks now, you would say, and this game means everything right now. They win this game, the Turks as the visiting team. They go back. I think they have one more game left between the two.
Yes.
For the series, and right now this one means everything here at Charlottesville High School. So they're right there in the standings, and yes, the Express are behind the Tom Sox, but you don't really worry about the North until you go on a deep playoff run. So right now, if you're the Tom Sox, you don't even think about the North Division. You think about the South Division and those Turks. And right now, too, those Covington Lumberjacks, which we have a game that we have to officially make up. We got all that ready on our social media for when that is. And for the Turks, for the Lumberjacks, that game, they've been on a heater. Now they're in a playoff spot in that 3 seed for those wild card games. The 2 and the 3 seed here in the VBL will play a 1-game playoff, and then they'll play the 1 seed in a championship series or a playoff series, you would say, best of 3.
Yep. So we'll be talking about that all throughout the night, but for now, let's send you out to the field and we'll get you guys your lineups coming up. So, starting off on the mound for the Tom Sox, number 42, James Hayes. We're going to get you guys all that information and talk a lot about the success that he's had so far this season. But setting up the defense behind home plate tonight is Cale Strickland. Over there on first base is Ferraro. On second base, Parham. Over on the shortstop, Ryan Wynn. On third base, Colby Wallace. Now, headed into the outfield, left field, Dean Mijos. In center, Johnny Lopez. And over in right field, it's going to be, Bowser. And now, Matt, this has been a defense that has cleaned up a lot of errors on the field, and the pitching has gotten going, but it hasn't seemed to be the same Tom Sox team as of late. They are 6-4 in the last 10 games.
Mike, I said this on the other broadcast the other night. Tom Sox first 18 games, only 4 losses, and in these last 10 games, technically 6-4, so another 4 losses in these 10-game stand. And 6-4 recently, they're still playing winning baseball, but just a little bit of bumps in the road. But obviously, it's a long season. You're not going to win every game. Sometimes he lost his humble teams here in the summer leagues, and hopefully the team can get back to their winning ways, like how they started off. And what no better than do it here at home.
All right, so that's your defense for the Tom Sox. Starting off, number 1, Cooper Prince. James Hayes winds up the delivery. Strike 1 for the opening pitch. And kind of going through the Turks' opening lineup, Cooper Prince up at the plate right now. Jose Perez on deck. Christopher Katz in the hole as Hayes gets his pitch. The windup and delivery just outside to Cale Strickland behind home plate. Jack Canizaro in the 4-hole. Anthony Pascal in the 5. Alex Ulova in the 6, Cam Nelson 7, Matthew Delgado in the 8, as that one's fouled off, and cleaning everything up will be Jalen Evans in the 9. So that's your starting lineup for the Harrisonburg Turks. This is a lineup, Matt, that has seen a lot of action, so James Hayes will have to be precise on the mound tonight.
100%, and you mentioned Chris Katz in the lineup, that 3-hole hitter, one of the best in the VBL. He's actually the leader in the South Division at 29 RBI, so definitely a player to watch on the Turk side.
Count 2 and 2. And
for Hayes, 5th start of the year, his 6th appearance total, with a record of 1-0, ERA 4.29, 14 and 2/3 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, and has only allowed 6 walks on the year.
Well, he's going to look to get his 18th of this season here with a full count to Prince. Hayes, the windup, delivery, too high, tried to give him the chase on 3 straight pitches, doesn't go. So Prince, the first batter of the day, walks over to first base for the first runner.
And for Hayes, in these situations, you have to go and attack your hitters. You cannot get ahead in the count and then lose them the way he just did right there. So got to be smart here early for Charlottesville, because recently teams have struck the Tom Sox early in the first inning, and usually that's the Tom Sox story of all season, scoring first and early.
His last outing, July 3rd against the Lumberjacks, which was the 7-6 loss in 10 innings. First pitch in there for strike 1, Jose Perez, who's batting a 3.41 on the season. Against the Lumberjacks on that July 3rd outing, he went 3 1/3, allowed 1 run, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. So quite the performance.
Had a really good day. Unfortunately, got the no decision that day. Mike and the team had a good chance, but the Lumberjacks, they've been hot recently, and they came all the way back, and that was their consecutive 2 games in a row with walk-off victories there at KC Field.
A stat that the fellow broadcaster for Covington let on is Hayes fires over to first for the checkover, and Prince is going to be in there safe. So 0-2 count right now to Perez. And as the broadcaster was saying, that was back-to-back nights, Matt, that the Lumberjacks had stormed all the way back late in the game and won one in extra innings. So they've been on a heater as of late. Hayes looking for his first strikeout. The 0-2, little too high, 1-2 now.
Jose Perez, one of their best hitters, hitting .341 on the season, 14 hits in his 41 at-bats.
Perez digs in. Righty v lefty on the matchup. 1-2. Hayes fires, swinging to the miss. Cale Strickland fires with Ryan Wynn over on second. The tag, he got him. Double play for the Tom Sox. The tag out, the strikeout. 2 down in the first.
How about the old school strike him out, throw him out, double play, Mike? Just like that, Cale Strickland back behind the plate showing the arm. And it looks like he hasn't skipped a beat.
My goodness, what a throw from Strickland. And Hayes can now rest easy on the mound knowing no one's on, but it's going to be pretty difficult with Christopher Katz coming to the plate, the all-star from Wake Forest. Matt batting a .375 on the season.
And as I mentioned, that lead in the RBI category with 29. And a lot of the Turks are up there in RBIs. Luke Catcher, who we'll see later in the lineup. Also one of those leaders for the Turks.
Katz dribbles one over to Walsh on third, gets to the ground, fires over to first, and he gets the putout. So, for the Turks in the top of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning right here on Tom Sox TV. Back here on Tom Sox TV, Mike Bolger, Matt Caprom along with you for tonight's action between the Tom Sox and Harrisonburg Turks. Tom Sox defense able to get a double play in an odd way and then get a ground out to end the first frame. So we're on to the bottom of the first. We'll set the defense here for you. Delgado behind home plate. Canizaro over on first. Evans on second. Perez over on shortstop. The new guy, Ulova on third. Katz over on left field. Prince in center. Pascal in right field. On the mound, David Davila, number 16. He's a left-handed pitcher, and he's got a lot for him going on right now, but it's going to be pretty tough when he has to face number 9, Johnny Lopez. Then number 2, Ryan Wynn. Robbie Levy following up, who has been on an absolute heater himself. Caden Ferraro will be the 4-hole hitter. Colby Wallace, D. Mijos, Coover Blauser, Nick Parham, then Cale Strickland. So that's your defense for the Turks. That's your lineup for the Tom Sox. And Matt, we're going to get a pretty good matchup here. Johnny Lopez, lefty, versus David Davila, lefty.
Good lefty on lefty matchup to start off, and for Davila's second start of the season against the Tom Sox. The last time he was here on July 2nd. That was actually back in Harrisonburg, where they lost 7-9, and he went 4 innings, allowing 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Lopez first switch, grounder to Evans, fires over Canizaro on first, and that's the first ground out and out for the Tom Sox of the bottom of the first. Now going to Ryan Wynn from Wolford, is second on the team in hits. He's definitely been a vital part since joining about a week late of the season. And ever since, he's been an important guy in this lineup. Behind him will be Robbie Levy, who we will get to in a second. But, man, these two have paired for a lot of damage so far this season.
And technically in the book for Mr. Wynn, hitting .315 on the year. Because that game was canceled the other night, he did get a record hit in that, starting a brand new 3-game hitting streak. But right now, in the stats, it's not showing up. But in the book, he's chasing a 4-game hitting streak.
Still active for him. And again, we'll get to that game in a second. Check swing, did he go? He did not. So it'll be 2-0. They're going to check over to the first. Now they say he's good. So 2-0 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. 0-0, still your score. Davila facing his first righty of the night. Fires this one, grounded right back to Davila. Ryan Wynn's going to get his first base hit of the night. This ball trickles into center field. He's going to round first and stay put. And Matt, his streak continues.
Technically for me, I'd say that's a 4-game hitting streak. I know the other one in the game the other night is not officially in the score books, but Ryan, if you hear the broadcast, which you probably won't, but you're one of the best guys on the team, so I'll tell you after the game, you're on a 4-game hitting streak, buddy. So keep it going. Multiple hitting streaks in the year 4 win, and just like you said, just someone who joined the team late, but did not skip the beat since coming over from Wofford.
Since coming back from injury, Robbie Levy now steps in, and man, he's been on the absolute tear in these past 3-4 weeks since he's been back. I mean, this guy has been batting a .316. He's got 5 home runs, leads the team now officially. And 18 RBIs. The rising sophomore has just been a vital part of this team, as this one's fouled down the third baseline. Under is Katz. He's calling for it. Now he's got to sprint past it. He's going to make the diving play. Did he get it? Looks like he did. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Katz in left field. Ryan Wynn goes back to first. Home plate umpire made the call. So now we've got 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Whew. And what a play that was by Katz. And as an outfielder growing up, I mean, Katz not scared to risk the body to make a play for his team, and it showed that effort there. You can't really tell on our camera angle, but dove basically head first onto the grass to slide and make that catch of foul territory, and had to send Ryan Wynn all the way back to first.
And now one of the best walk-off songs, in my opinion, in Caden Ferraro coming up to the plate. He's 8 for 20 since joining the Tom Sox a couple weeks ago. Now lefty. Face Davila. Breaking ball in too high, so it'll be 1-0 count. And one big thing that I've noticed about Ferraro throughout the season so far is if you look at his stance, he's got a very wide open stance compared to anybody else on the team. You know what it does remind me of? Cade Ballou.
Someone who was at the top of the team average-wise, who unfortunately his time here is done. And Ferraro, since joining the team late, Mike, technically in the book, he is the team leader right now in average at 400 exact. 8 hits in those 20 at-bats. So since joining the team, he's been on a good roll so far.
From Blinn College, number 35 steps back in with a 1-1 count. The third pitch, way too outside. Delgado, nice bat down there. It'll be a 2-1 with 2 outs. Ryan Wynn, not a big lead over on first. Kenny Towns, the first base coach. Randy Tomlin over down third base. Kobe Wallace on deck. 2 down, 2-1. Davila looks at Wynn, now fires, too high. Ferraro staying disciplined at the plate. He's going to get a 3-1 count now.
3-1 count, hitters count here with 2 outs. We'll see if he throws anything that Ferraro would like, but he's most likely going to be taking here.
The 3-1. Davila fires in the dirt, goes into the backstop. Ryan Wynn's just going to trot over there, but also because it's ball 4, Ferraro will go over to first. And now Davila has to deal with 2 runners on as Colby Wallace comes up to the plate.
Wallace, one of the best hitters on this team. He's just been raking recently, and he's been one of those clutch hitters for the Tom Sox. If you need a spark, you need a base hit, you need an RBI, Colby Wallace is one of those guys who's going to step up in big situations. So we'll see right here with 2 outs if he can get an early first inning call for the Tom Sox.
Well, against the second righty so far in the Tom Sox lineup, we've mentioned a lot of how diverse this Tom Sox lineup has been throughout the season, as Davila fires this one a little too high for 1-0 count. I mean, you look at it, Lopez lefty, Ryan Wynn righty, Levy lefty, Ferraro lefty, Wallace righty.
The righty-lefty, righty-lefty, righty-lefty lineup. Thank you, Randy Tomlin, for the for the tongue twisters today.
And then D. Mijos righty on deck. So
there you go.
Colby Wallace hits this one pretty well in the right field, carrying all the way into the Tom Sox bullpen, though. Just kind of sliced right at that last second, so everybody will go back, win the second, Ferraro to first, and Colby Wallace back to the plate.
Shout out to the bullpen arms all the way out there. Got to be alert. Had some hands up there trying to protect each other. Of course, that's the case for in baseball when your bullpen is out and not away. So, got to keep your head on a swivel.
At all times, Davila's got to keep his head on a swivel with 2 runners on. The 1-1. Fires this one. This one hit pretty well into center field. It's going to get caught by Prince. Man, that one just carried enough for him to get under it, and it ends the inning. So, no runs, 2 runners left on base, no errors, 1 hit for the Tom Sox. We're headed to the top of the second here on Tom Sox TV. We're scoreless after 1 inning and now headed to the top of the second inning. We've got a surprise guest in the press box. Welcome. What's going on?
We have the Cavman here, the UVA mascot, having a good day today. Are you excited that it's, UVA Athletics night? We got the yes right now.
First pitch foul down third base line, goes all the way out. Man, you hit the gym a lot? You're pretty ripped. Yeah.
Pretty jacked there showing on the screen. I mean, he's calling me small right now on the broadcast.
A little bit.
It's all right.
Awesome appearance. We head back to the field. James Hayes back out for his second mound appearance. He'll face Jack Canizaro now from James Madison. As if you're just joining us, UVA night at the ballpark. 0-2 count for Hayes now as we've got a lot of athletes, a lot of students attending UVA. Obviously a mascot walking around here too.
Hey, he called me small because I had a Virginia Tech jersey on this morning.
The 0-2 fouled back.
He heard about my master plan of being the villain today.
Which, I don't know, you're gonna rep it at one point of the broadcast?
I might have to. So for the UVA listeners back at home, unfortunately, you might have to see something disgusting later, and it's going to be a VT jersey apparently. But if you're...
The 0-2 fouled back.
That might call that one. But unfortunately, if you're one of our interns like George, who gave me the jersey, he would love to see it. So shout out to you, George. You're not with us today, but wish you were here playing the villain with me.
George mostly behind the camera is now not with us today as this one's dribbled over to Ryan, went on shortstop, grounds it cleanly, fires over to first, and that's going to be the first out of the second.
Quick 6-3 there by Wynn, and usually him, Parham, Muma, who's ever been playing the infield, Mike, we've seen a lot of them playing both positions during the day of the middle infield. Randy Tallman making sure all his infielders, especially the middle guys, are getting their reps at second and short. And honestly, getting familiar just in case you're going to get put there in a dire situation. So Wynn made that play very smoothly despite playing second a lot recently.
And, we talked a lot about this fielding for the Tom Sox as Anthony Pascal comes to the plate. First swing is a swing and a miss. It'll be 0-1. The Tom Sox field had 46 errors so far this season. Over the past couple games, Matt, that's been really chopped down here. We've had a couple of games where they didn't make any errors and then a couple won here and there.
And you go back to that Stan loss the other night, 11-10 in 11 innings. One of the cleanest games defensively by the Tom Sox, despite them taking the loss on the road.
The 1-1 just grabs the plate outside.
So right now, moving forward for this team, you just got to be loose this late in the season when you're on defense. You just got to, you can't be stiff out there. You can't be nervous to make, like you're going to be thinking about making an error. You just got to play so smooth and freely like we just saw win and carry that defensive momentum for the rest of the season.
The 1-2, did he go? First place umpire says no, so we'll get a 2-2 count now with 1 out. And, I talked to couple of the players, one of them being Dean Mijos, and he said, yeah, we just need to loosen up a little bit on defense. So we thought we got a little too conservative there, as this one's drilled pretty well into left field. Under it is Mijos. He's going to make the grab for out number 2. And he just said, we just need to loosen up. We need to be who we were in the beginning of the season and stop playing so tight and aggressive, I guess you can say.
100%. And, Mike, I just love how we were talking about Dean, and he got a fly ball while we were talking about him. So I guess he thought about us.
Absolutely, as Alex Uloa comes up to the plate. So far this season, he's 1 of 10, just joined the Turks. A couple games ago as Hayes fires this one, and this one's going to be fouled down third base line and rolling to the Turks dugout. They can't reach it.
Uloa, the Coulter Bay, Florida native, playing out of Florida International University, so born in Florida, staying there local to play.
Low 1, swing and a miss from him, and he's going to go 0-2 now with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Jack Canizaro grounded out, and the Pascal flew out to left. James Hayes on the mound with the 0-2. Fires this one, just tried to get in the chase high. Be 1-2 now. Technically speaking, it wouldn't be back-to-back 1-2-3 innings, but James Hayes facing 6 batters and 6 outs would be pretty good for the Tom Sox defense to start, as this one's in the dirt for ball 2.
And just joining the team, too, I mean, at FIU this year, he had 327, 70 hits.
The 2-2. Hayes winds up, fires this one. Again, fouled back. Uloa staying alive in this at-bat.
11 home runs with the Panthers this year. So this is someone who has shown power in the collegiate level. So
looking to get going here. Hayes fires outside full. So Uloa was down 0-2, has fought back in 4 pitches to make it a full count. We've got full, 2 outs here in the top of the second. 0-0. Hayes delivers this one down to his knees over to third base. Wallace fires over across the diamond to get the out. So 1-2-3 go down the Turks here in the top of the second inning. We're on to the bottom of the second with D. Mijos leading off next. Back here on Tom Sox TV, Dean Mijos, Cooper Blauser, Nick Parham will be the 3 guys we see here for the Sox in the bottom of the second. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabram along with you guys as we are tied 0-0 after an inning and a half as David Davila comes back out. First pitch, too high, 1-0. Matt, you're pretty happy right now. Cavman faced off against one of our fans here. at Charlottesville High School and lost in what seemed like a worm battle.
I guess so. I mean, hey, Cabman didn't do the worm, so by default, Mike, I think the kid does win that one.
I think he did too.
You know, shout out to Cabman for being here tonight, but you always got to give it to kid in those situations. So that's where I'm going on the judging. Scoring decision, I'd say.
The 2-0. Davila. Breaking ball down. Man, what a pitch. It's going to be 2-1 now to D. Mijos.
Davila last through 3 days ago, only pitched 1 inning in the 16-10 win over the Stanton Braves. Only allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout in his 4 batters faced.
The 2-1 almost hits Mijos there. It'll be 3-1 now to the righty with Cooper Blauser on deck. No one on. 3-1, no outs here in the bottom of the second. Davila outside, ball 4 will be his second walk of the evening so far. And Mijos gets on the base first time tonight.
Mijos could eventually end up being a threat over there for Davila to keep an eye on. Definitely someone you don't want to give too much space over there at first. Has shown the speed this year, does have 3 stolen bases on the summer, so right now with this pitching change, probably talking a little bit of, not pitching change, of a pitching visit. Probably going to talk a little bit of defensive tactics, see what's going to happen if Mijos does go.
This is your first time watching the Tom Sox. You should not be surprised when we say that Randy Tomlin is very aggressive on the base pad, so he will send Mijos if he dares. As umpire charges the Turks with their first mound visit of the night so far. David Davila looked to get his first out of the bottom of the second. He's no stranger to sticky situations in the bottom of the first. If you missed that one, he did have 2 runners on with 2 outs. He got out of it. Now to Cooper Blauser, fires this one, just able to grab the top right corner of the strike zone. Be 0-1.
Blauser, one of those guys who've been really finding a role here since joining the team late.
Blauser, 4 of 18 so far this season. Second pitch, fouled back into the backstop. Will be 0-2 now.
4 of 18, hitting .222 since joining the team from Jacksonville State University.
Only guy on the team with a white helmet. Tyler Roldan did have a white helmet, but now it's passed on to Cooper Blauser. This one's popped up pretty high into the infield. Calling off is Canizero. He's going to fight the sun, make the grab for the first out of the inning. So, after David Davila lets up a walk, he gets 1 out. Now have to face Nick Parham.
Parham started off a little bit slow to start the summer since joining the team, but has been really kind of up the beat recently with the way he's been taking his at-bats. Had a big triple a few nights ago back in the big victory over the Generals, and just another guy who takes really good at-bats and can get on any way you can.
9 hits, 7 runs on the season. The 0-0 fired, just able to grab the bottom of the strike zone. It'll be 0-1. Parham looks back to Scott Strickland, who is in the dugout making the signals tonight for the base runners and batters for the Tom Sox. As Davila looks at it first, fires this one down to Delgado's going to fire over to second. It's going to hop over, and D. Mijos gets his 5th stolen base of the season so far, and that'll be a 1-1 count back at the plate.
Big stolen base here for Mijos, able to have a good jump time and also a good pop down by the catcher, but couldn't be handled cleanly by the shortstop in Perez.
1-1, 1 out. Runner in scoring position behind Davila. He looks. Now he fires. This one fouled into the backstop. Be 1-2.
Davila, big 1-2. Going to try to challenge Parham, most likely with an outside breaking pitch or just challenging him with that outside corner anyway. He can.
Davila up in the count. 1-2, broke down, and now it's fouled off. A late breaking pitch. Parham saw it late. Just able to defend the plate. Now he'll remain with a 1-2 count here. Staying alive in the bottom of the second. Mijos, not a big lead on second. No one covering. Davila focuses on the plate. Fires this one. Too far outside. It'll be 2-2. With Cale Strickland on deck. He did have his catching gear on, but since D. Mijos stole, he took it off real quick. Looking to get his first plate appearance in a couple of games. Now the 2-2. Parham fouls it back into the fencing yet again. It'll be the 3rd foul ball of this at-bat. The count remains the same. Davila looking for his first strikeout of the night. Has allowed 1 hit, 2 walks so far. The lefty takes a breath, gets a signal, fires this one. Grounded over to second and Evans. He's going to fire it over to Canizaro. Had to bobble it for second, but gets there in time. D. Mijos advances to third. The Tom Sox are 90 feet away from the first run of the night. Cale Strickland looked to bat it in.
Strickland, since coming back from a small minor injury, first game since July 7th in that 10-11 loss, or 11-10 loss in Stanton, hitting .281 on the year.
Righty from Auburn awaits his first pitch of the night. Davila fires this one, ripped into right field. It's going to get down. D. Mijos scores the first run of the night as Cale Strickland rounds first and stays put. RBI single for the catcher behind home plate.
How about that for your first at-bat, Mike? First pitch, opposite field, finds the gap, and just like that, Tom Sox lead at 1-0 here on UVA Athletics night.
So Mijos goes around the diamond. Cale Strickland bats him in, and we're back to the top of the lineup for the Sox in Johnny Lopez. Grounded out in his first at-bat. First pitch, down low in the dirt. The lefty steps in, gets his bat back. Cale Strickland over on first. Davila on the mound. Try to get that pitch to break down a little bit. Couldn't, so it'd be 2-0 now.
Lopez was very aggressive in that first at-bat, swinging first pitch of the game to ground out to the shortstop, Evans.
Davila, the 2-0. Down, Delgado has to get down in front of it. He does so, keeping Strickland on first with Ryan Wynn on deck. Robbie Levy in the hole, so a dangerous part of the home team's lineup coming up. Davila looking to get out of the inning. He's 1 out away with the 3-0. Lopez takes that one in for strike one. Get me over fastball there. Lands.
Lopez being very disciplined in this at-bat, but we'll see with the 3-1 hitters count if he'll change his approach here.
Sox lead 1-0. The 3-1. 2 outs. Lopez swing and a miss there. It looks like it fouled back a little bit into Delgado's glove. So we'll get a full count. Davila looking for his first strikeout tonight. Has fought back from being down 3-0 to make this a full count. Strickland on first. Davila on the mound. To Lopez. Fires this one. Swing and a miss from Johnny Lopez. And David Davila gets his first strikeout of the night and ends this second inning. But the Tom Sox able to grab their first run of the night as well with a Cale Strickland RBI single to right field. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We're headed to the third frame right here on Tom Sox TV. Back for the third inning of action right here on Tom Sox TV. Cam Nelson will lead it off for the Turks against James Hayes, who has had a strong outing so far. 6 batters faced, 6 outs to start his appearance as the 0-0 fired in. Check swing, did it go? Third base umpire says no, so it'll be a 1-0 count. Hayes has made 5 starts now with the Tom Sox in his 6 appearances. Second pitch doesn't grab the plate. It'll be 2-0 now. It's Salvation Army mascot walked around saying hi to all fans here at Charlottesville High School. Third pitch in there for strike 1. Just able to grab the corner. Actually framed by Kel Strickland. Pretty good.
My bad, right? Go.
Pretty good crowd here at Charlottesville High School, Matt.
Here on UV Athletics Night, as we've mentioned a few times on this broadcast.
This one popped up in the shallow left field. Ryan Wynn calls it off, makes the grab, and he nets the first out of the third.
Big first out there for the Tom Sox and for Hayes, who's been starting these at-bats a little, I don't want to say in the struggle side, Mike, because he's pitching very well, but starting a lot of these at-bats kind of losing the count, but able to bounce back and get a few induced outs, and we'll see if he can continue to roll this way.
So he retires Cam Nelson, the DH of the night. Now Matthew Delgado, half swing there. It bounces all the way into right field. And the Turks able to get their first hit of the night here in the third.
Well, Mike hit them where they ain't, and that's what Delgado just did. Even if it was a check swing and it was a little bit of a weak contact, able to find a hole and was able to touch the outfield in the grass. So just like that, first hit of the night for the Turks.
Upcoming now, the 9-hole hitter in Jalen Evans. So far this season, he is 15 of 53, but he really does damage when he gets on base for the Turks. With 1 runner on, Hayes now fired the first pitch, swing and a miss there. The 0-1.
Evans more known for his speed with the team, 8 stolen bases, so can get on, could be a big threat for the Tom Sox and for Kel Strickland.
Righty v righty, on mound at the plate. Hayes, wind up. Try to get him inside. Looks like he just misses mark. It'll be 1-1. With Delgado on first. And the top of the lineup in Cooper Prince on deck. Hayes gets the nod. Now fires. This one, swing and miss again in the dirt there. It'll be 1-2 now. And Hayes with 1 K already on the night. Looking for his second of the game. 1 man on, 1-2, 1 out here in the top of the third. Tom Sox lead it 1-0. Hayes, wind up, delivery. This one chopped down the third base line, but just foul. As Wallace fielded it, looked for a play, but third base umpire says it's no go, so we'll reset here.
Hayes big ahead on the count here. Got to see his challenge pitch here to try to fool Evans up at the box.
Hayes shakes off a pitch, now gets the one he wants. The windup, the 1-2. This one drops in, strike 3. James Hayes gets his second K. First backwards one of this game, and he's got 2 out now in the third with Cooper Prince coming up to the plate.
Well, Mike, guess he was listening to me when I said the challenge. Evans with your best 1-2 pitches. You were ahead on the count, and that one was a beauty. The breaking pitch right over the plate for the backwards called strike.
He's got an AirPod in right now listening to the YouTube broadcast. It's Hayes, 0-0. Fires this one in for strike 1. You can't tell on the broadcast. Our camera can't really focus in on it, but it's there, maybe.
Yeah, he just got a little AirPod in there. He's listening to us right now. He's actually telling us what pitches he's throwing. It's like the pitch combo for us.
Hayes, if you can hear us, throw the ball right now. Wait for it. See? 0-1.
And he
this
listened.
one chopped down the first base line and foul, so he can hear us.
Guess I got to start calling you Coach Mike.
Oh
the way you demanded there, and you got your wish. So you're hearing me and Mike on the broadcast right now, and you're going to see us in the dugout one day, I guess.
Well, the coach for the Turks and Bob Weiss down on that third base line gives Cooper Prince a signal with an 0-2, 2 outs here in the third. 1 runner on. Hayes fires this one, found to the parking lot. Do we go to Gocho read? There it is. Our PA guy Jeff gets Gocho out there, and
it's my favorite foul ball read ever.
I got to do a PA on Tuesday. It was something. I joined an exclusive club with you and Jeff now.
Very exclusive club this year.
The 0-2, 2 outs. Hayes fires this one, dribbled in between the legs of Prince. That was awkwardly hit. Now we'll reset and do it again.
And there's our speedy fastball foul ball runner in Trevor Booten when he's not in suit tonight, which he won't be the way he's dressed with his shorts on. He runs out and you'll catch him on our screen running to chase those foul balls behind the plate.
Did it today, did it on Tuesday. He's just sitting there with Randy Tomlin, waiting for foul balls. This one hit pretty well into center field. It's going to get down. Advance Delgado to second. Prince gets on to first. And the Turks have 2 hits in the inning now with Jose Perez coming up.
Turks are trying to respond to the Tom Sox with their little 2-out rally, and now with 2 guys on and 2 outs, another single. Big opportunity here for Perez to try to level things up here at CHS.
0-1 tonight, 2. He struck out in the first. He's 1 of 2 of Hayes' strikeouts so far. With 2 outs here in the third, Hayes has to look behind him and to his left. With the runners on. First pitch drops in, just grabbing the corner for another 1. 0-1, 2 outs. Lefty Perez from Rollins College. Awaits. Hayes. Now the delivery. Just outside. Try to get that same placement. Couldn't get it, so it'll be a 1-1 now. Strickland behind home plate. Give him the nod saying, we're right there. Delgado on second. Prince on first. Hayes fires this one. This one. Dribble to Ryan Wynn. He makes the grab. Fires to second base and gets him in time. So James Hayes allows 2 hits, but gets out of the inning via a fly-out, strikeout, and then ground out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the third with the Tom Sox up 1-0. A little bit of trivia here on UVA night as the Tom Sox lead 1-0 against the Harrisonburg Turks in the bottom of the third. Ryan Wynn will start things off, and Matt, we got a little trivia in. The one fact that we kind of looked up beforehand was who leads UVA in athletic championships, NCAA championships, and it's men's lacrosse. The last one coming in 2019 when Penn State men's lacrosse was also there. They're on opposite sides of the brackets from each other.
Shout out to Lars Tiffany, great coach there at UVA.
Ryan Wynn, the 1-0. This one just misses the plate for the 2-0 now to Davila. And, yeah, it's Penn State's 1 of 2 semifinal appearances with Jeff Chamboni trying to get back there. But for Virginia, they're trying to also get back there. They fresh set of players next year. They were close this year. Both teams had pretty good runs. Obviously, lead the college championship. So, pretty cool fact there for you. Ryan Wynn now steps in with the 3-0 count. Fires this one, and it's going to be a 3-1 count for Davila.
Big get-me-over pitch, as you said not too long ago for him.
Davila so far tonight, allowing 2 hits, 1 run. His 1 strikeout, as this one's hit pretty well in the right field. Under it is Pascal to make the grab, and he'll get the first. Batter retired here in the third. Robbie Levy now steps up. Full out to left field. His first plate appearance. That was a pretty nice diving play over there by Katz, and now the lefty looked to go possibly the opposite way. He's had 5 home runs so far this season. 1 was a walk-off here at CHS. And that right field corner was 290. First pitch, just able to grab the outside for 0-1. David Davila in his 3rd inning pitch now for the Turks today. Look to keep the score the same. Second pitch drops in. Man, he's thrown a couple of those tonight, ringing up a couple of the batters, and now Robbie Levy look to stay alive here with an 0-2 count. 1 out. Davila fires. Swing and a miss from Robbie Levy. David Davila grabs his 2nd strikeout of the night, 1st of the 3rd inning.
2nd one of the night, but a big one now. 2 outs for Davila. Back-to-back outs, and try to get out of this little 1-2-3. Only down 1.
Coming up now, Caden Ferraro. So far tonight, he's 0-0. No, he is not. His first plate appearance. This is his 2nd. He walked in the 1st. As the lefty steps on in, Davila fires this one. Man, again, that pitch breaking down the 0-1.
That outside of the plate curveball to the lefties have just been fooling them all night, the way it drops in.
Second pitch down and away, 0-2. That one had a little more speed on it.
Probably with the change up there, the way it dipped down.
Now Caden Ferraro look to defend with an 0-2 count. David Davila looking to get out of the inning. This one hit pretty well in left field. It's going to slice down. Katz will ground it, but Caden Ferraro rounds first base for his 9th hit of the season, 1st of the game.
Opposite field hit, too, just over the 3rd baseman's head in Yola. And he knew right away, too, the 3rd baseman, right when that ball was hit over his head, he didn't even move. There. Just stood there. He knew that was getting down for it. And just like that, the Tom Sox again. Little 2-out rally could be in the magic here.
Colby Wallace steps in, flew out to center field in his first plate appearance in the 1st. This one, chopped over the shortstop. Perez gets it, fires over to second base, and this one, he's going to say he stepped off. Jalen Evans on second base didn't feel it cleanly. Now, the umpire says that Ferraro is safe, so an error on the infield cost David Davila the final out of the inning. Bring up now Dean Mijos, who walked in the 2nd and scored the 1st and only run.
So it's going to go in the book as an error, and a little E4 on there since it was not fielded cleanly. And Tom Sox still have life here with Wallace stepping up.
So Dean Mijos digs in. The righty takes the first pitch in for strike 1. Man, David Davila, quite the arsenal he's got so far. For the Turks with an 0-1 count, 2 runners on. This one drops way too low. Delgado has to ground it and keeps it in front of him to keep the runners at bay. For the Turks so far this season, their bullpen has gotten 262 strikeouts, has a 4.54 ERA. Is that one fouled down to the first base line and into the woods. But 4.54 compared to the Tom Sox 4.03. One of the best in the South Division. 1-2 now, 2 outs. David Davila, 1 strikeout away from retiring the 3rd. Fires this one way too high. Looks like that one just kind of got away from him there. And Dean Mijos just kind of takes that pitch, steps back in for the 2-2. Wallace on first, Ferraro on second. Blauser on deck. Mijos awaits the 2-2. This one, fire. This one hit pretty well in the right field. Going back is Pascal, and he's going to make the grab to end the inning. So, 1 hit, 1 error, no runs, 2 men left on base. Tom Sox lead it 1-0 here. And headed to the top of the 4th. I'll hand things over to Macabrom right here when we come back. Tom Sox lead it 1-0, headed to the middle 3 frames, where I'm going to lob it over to Macabrom to take over for now.
You know what, Mike? With your lob, I'm going to dunk it in. So thank you for that. Usually, Dylan and I have been saying we're going to toss it over, but this time you're going to lob it. So thank you. I appreciate that. James Hayes still on the mound in his 4th inning of work. The longest he's gone this year with the Tom Sox's 4 innings. That was back on June 2nd against the Generals in a 16-1 victory. First pitch ground in this inning to Katz. Over the Parham at second, and he's going to quickly throw it over the first for the first out in the book as a 4-3.
Look at that. I lob it up, and just like Team USA, you slam it right down.
Mike, me and you are the real dream team.
Oh, come on. You
Not
already know
1992. It's me and you.
it. Yeah, you already know it.
There you go. There you go. Quick first 1 pitch, 1 out for Hayes, and it's been rolling recently. So see if he can continue this right now with Canizaro coming up, the first baseman. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to win back in the 2nd inning. Hayes, the righty, in his windup. Over the plate with the breaking pitches in there called strike.
The longest outing for a pitcher so far for the Tom Sox this season is 5 1/3. So for Hayes, he's definitely on pace to go that long.
The next pitch is swinging in the air to deep right. Under it is Blauser. Squeezes it away for the 2nd out. So Hayes on 3 pitches has 2 outs. A big shout out to our DJ Press Play, Ben Rikosh, playing a Bing Bong meme on the soundboard here. So knows he's got his New York beloved Knicks fan on the mic here for the broadcast. Had to play Bing Bong for me. For James Hayes, he's got 2 Bing Bongs to start the inning. Quick 2 outs. Trying to make another quick inning of work here. First pitch to... Now that's going to be a quick grounder to Colby Wallace, who's going to step across, throw over to Ferraro at first, and look at that. James Hayes, 1, 2, 3 on 4 pitches. The Tom Sox going to be back up with the bats right here on Tom Sox TV. Stick around after the break. Back here on Tom Sox TV, Mike Bolger, Mac Brom. If you're just joining us here on UVA Athletics Night, Tom Sox lead at 1-0 thanks to a Cale Strickland 2-out single back in the 2nd inning that scored Dean Mijos. And right now for the Tom Sox, it's been all of them defensively, and now they get a chance to do it again here with the bats with the 1-0 early lead. Still on the mound for the Turks, David Davia, who's been pitching really great tonight.
Oh, absolutely. He's dug into his arsenal early on. It's gotten a lot of these batters just like that pitch right there. We've seen a lot of breaking balls, change-up, curve balls. I mean, he's got it all right there for the lefty.
The lefty gets that first pitch strike to Blauser. The next one over the plate, hooks in there, but that one's just a bit inside. For Mackey behind the plate to call that one.
Yeah, he kind of shook his head off there. He's like, that could have gone either way.
Count goes to 1-1. The lefty deals. Blauser fouls one off. That's going to go way out of play over our heads. For Davia so far, 3 innings pitched. Without 3 hits, that 1 run early to the Tom Sox. He's got 2 strikeouts and 2 walks, so he's been settled in too since allowing that early run. Usually between these two teams, it's a high-scoring affair when these two meet. And right now, with this 1-0 count, this one's going to pop up, or 1-0 lead, I should say. Fly ball in the air to right. And that's squeezed away by Pascal for the first out.
Well, to your point, Matt, I mean, these two squads, when they meet, it's absolutely electric. Normally, Harrisonburg, when they're home, dominant. On the road here, this is where it gets a ton of fun. We've seen the 12-8 game, then we've seen a 9-5 game between these two. And normally, Harrisonburg averages 10 runs a game. Tom Sox around 9 runs a game. So it's really fun when you see these two guys face off.
Bringing up Nick Parham, who showed bunt but pulled away on the high pitch for ball 1. It's 1-0. Parham 0 for 1 today with the ground out to the second baseman in Jalen Evans. Looking to get on base for the first time in this contest. The 1-0. Right over the plate. Called for a strike. Moves it to 1-1 on a beautiful night here. It's just like most of these games have been, Mike. Hot and humid recently, but beautiful weather, of course, for baseball. The sun is shining out here. The 1-1. Parham's going to foul that one.
And our management squad actually told us that of all the water that they normally order for a season, we've already gone through it here, 70% down of the way. So that just tells you how hot it's been, how much water everybody here has been consuming.
Got to stay hydrated, even if you're up here in this nice, lovely press box with the nice AC blasting behind us. And a ground ball to Jalen Evans. Picks it up, throws over the first, so they'll retire Nick Parham. And just like that, Davia's going to have a quick 1-2. And that's going to bring back up Kale Strickland, responsible for the only run today with that RBI single back in the second with 2 outs.
That's his 13th RBI on the year so far. He's come in some clutch spots, especially in his past 2 outings. He's combined for 3 hits, 3 runs on 6 at-bats.
The lefty's first pitch, way in there with the curveball, and that's in there for a strike.
It's just something to admire, Matt. I mean, really, David Davila has just dug into what he knows and really expanded on throughout his summer so far.
The 0-1, and there it is again, the Uncle Charlie. That one just misses, goes 1-1. Mike, we've seen a lot of curveballs this summer, but none breaking with the, I mean, this one's looking like a 12-6 coming out of the gates for Davila, the way it starts high and drops low. The 1-1. He'll go fastball on this one, but that one just misses outside. It goes to 2-1.
You know, we saw him in a couple of appearances ago against Tom Sox at James Madison University. I mean, he didn't dig this far into what he had. So to see it now, to see his first start, it's pretty cool.
The next one just misses upstairs. And now Strickland's out on his count. It's 3-1. Strickland not only a big hitter in this Tom Sox lineup down in the bottom of the order, a guy who can also get on regardless if he gets hits or not. Draws a lot of walks. And he's going to line a second one here for another 2-out hit. And just like that, Kale Strickland in his first game back, he's 2 for 2.
It's back-to-back games now that he's had multiple hits for the Sox. So the catcher raking here as we head to the, crunch time, Matt. I mean, you said in the beginning of the broadcast, we have about 12 games left in the season. It's really all about the playoff race from here on out.
This is the 4th total multi-hit game for Strickland this season. He's got a couple of 3-hit games coming against the Generals in both those affairs, and now he's got a big multi-hit game so far here against the Turks. The 0-1 pitch. Lopez in the air to left, chasing Katz over in left field, making the run, but cannot squeeze it. Great diving attempt, as we've seen early in this game that he's made, but that one unable to beat a little bit of that hill over by the bullpen.
Just about to say, he basically tried to copy and paste what he did earlier in the game in the first inning, but couldn't do it there. Katz has got a lot of speed. We saw him in the prospect games make a couple good plays in left field. Made the all-star team, so he's definitely had a summer for himself. But somebody else who also made the all-star list was Johnny Lopez with the home run derby.
All-star versus all-star with the 0-2 count. Outside, it's ball 1 now to the count. Moves it to 1-2. Lopez was the home run derby fill-in for the Tom Sox, who made it to the second round. So good to put the Tom Sox in a good light there as he'll fall that one off back to the backstop, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
He just said it was fun, right? A lot of these players said it was just fun to get out there, meet other players from not only the South Division but the North Division, and just have a fun day.
The All-Star game was out in Purcellville this summer. The 1-2 count. The Uncle Charlie fouled off and away. Still 1-2. Lopez fighting away here.
And Johnny Lopez just kind of got too far on that one. He got excited by the pitch, and Scott Strickland in the dugout said, hey, just settle down. You're good. We got a 1-2 count. You know what to do here.
5 pitches in his at-bat. 4 of them foul balls. The 1-2. He'll foul that one off again. We'll add another to it.
Well, that one he was just a little late by, so he's just got to figure out his timing here. As Kale Strickland, I mean, he's taking off on every pitch. Every pitch you've seen, Kenny Towns is telling him, hey, just go.
Kenny Towns, the first baseman coach here for the Tom Sox.
Former UVA player.
And Lopez is going to sock one in the air. He's going to pop it up. Who's going to call it? And it's going to be the right fielder in Pascal making the catch. And ending the inning for the Tom Sox. So the Tom Sox will get a hit. Kale Strickland second of the inning, but are unable to score a run. No errors, and they'll just leave that one Strickland base runner on base. But we're going to take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV. Your Tom Sox lead at 1-0. We'll be right back. Bringing you back here on Tom Sox TV, where your Sox lead at 1-0 here against the Turks, top of the 5th. James Hayes still on the mound, so retires any out here will be his longest start of the season. And the first pitch swinging popped up. And it's going to be Ferraro making the catch in foul territory for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Hayes. And if you really go back to last inning, that's 5 pitches in a row and 4 outs retired. So Hayes on a bit of a tear here and doing it with a low pitch count.
Absolutely. And, Matt, you know what? He's not doing too much. I think that's the biggest thing for him, right? He's got 2 strikeouts on the night, 2 hits, and 1 walk. And he's really allowed his infield, who have 5 putouts so far, on the night. So he's just letting his field do much of the work.
So 4 1/3, and the first pitch to Nelson is going to be fouled off. Nelson popped out to Ryan Wynn back in the 3rd inning. And for Hayes, longest now official start for him this summer. 2 outs away from, could be deemed the winning pitcher if everything can hold up and the Tom Sox can get a few runs for him. Check swing, but the home plate umpire, Mike Mackey, says he went around. That brings the count early to 0-2.
Well, again, the longest outing for a Tom Sox pitcher so far this season is 5 1/3. So he's rivaling not only his own, but his team's.
That was Palmer O'Byrne back against Culpepper a few weeks ago, but that next pitch to Nelson outside moves it to 1-2.
It's going to be tough, though. This Turks offense can ignite whenever it wants to, so we got a 1-0 lead. Still dangerous.
The 1-2 just misses downstairs, and it's 2-2. Nelson hitting that 231 mark of the season. His 9 hits and his 39 at-bats. The 2-2. Outside. So from 0-2, Hayes falls behind on the count. It's 3-2. Nelson with the advantage. Has drawn 8 walks this year. He has 7 stolen bases, so it could be a threat if he gets on. And that's going to be ball 4, so we'll see one of those Turks stolen base threats. He's over there on first for the first base runner of the inning, and the first one since Delgado back in the top of the 3rd.
Well, and you say about the stolen bases about Nelson, in his last outing against the Generals on July 7th, he had 2 stolen bases. So not only is he dangerous on the base pads, but he's got some momentum carrying him into this game.
Nelson will get a lead over there. Hayes will check on him. Right now he'll shake off Strickland. Gets the pitch he wants. And the righty delivers. Swung on and miss. Gets Delgado the swing out of his shoes out of the box for the first strike. It's 0-1.
And Kale Strickland and Delgado both behind home plate tonight. Both of them just kind of laughed at that pitch and were discussing what it was.
The 0-1. Hayes will check on his runner, but easily getting back to first is Nelson.
If you're Hayes, yeah, you just want to check over and keep Nelson there, but at the same time, you know you got a great arm behind home plate in Kale Strickland, so you can kind of focus on the batter.
Hayes earlier in this game as that next pitch is outside for ball 1. Tom Sox already completed the old school strike him out, throw him out, and we'll see if Nelson's in any position to get put in that position, I would say. So the 1-1 count, Hayes looks into his catcher Strickland, gets the sign he wants. The righty picks his leg up and delivers. It's a ground ball play. Win. Flips it over to Parham at first. Over, but that will be thrown out of play. So safe at first is Delgado, and he'll trot all the way over to second. No, they're going to say runner interference. Because of that, it's going to be a double play to end the inning. So Hayes gets out of it. He goes 5 complete innings so far. And the Tom Sox get their second double play technically of the game. They still lead at 1-0. We're going to take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV. Stick around. Back in the bottom of the 5th. But your Tom Sox lead at 1-0 here on UVA Athletics tonight. Ryan Wynn stepping up to the plate. Win so far, 1 for 2 today with a ground ball single back in the first, and then a fly out to right his last time up.
It's been these core Ryan Wynn, Robbie Levy, and even Farrar and Wallace have joined late, have really clicked here and gotten a lot of what the Sox needed to grab a couple of wins in the past 10 games.
First pitch to Win, called strike on the outside corner. Davia still on the mound for the Turks, so a little bit of a pitcher's duel in a 1-0 game. And the 0-1 with the curveball gets Win the swing out of his shoes, and it moves it to 0-2.
Well, we've talked about how electric these two offenses are, Matt. So right now, if you're the home squad, you're kind of taking a pitcher's duel. You're up 1-0. Nothing's going for the Turks bats at the moment with Hayes absolutely dealing.
Win in near to right, but that one will go out of play for a foul. So we will do it again at 0-2.
And now even David Davila, you know, his pitch count is probably getting up there, and his day's probably coming to an end soon, as it looks like we've got action in the Turks bullpen.
The 0-2 upstairs moves it to 1-2.
It's going to be number 36, Caden Cokes, a right-handed pitcher, so they're going to switch some things up. Maybe Try to give the Tom Sox batters a different look.
Davia's 1-2 pitch, curveball swinging, and that's going to be a ground ball handled cleanly by Canizaro on the hop, and he'll take it to first himself for the first out of the 5th.
But those quick outs always do help, Matt. So to your pitch count, you know, it's definitely going to be helpful. And here comes Robbie Levy now looking for his first hit. He's really struggled to see a couple of these pitches here early on. So something right over the plate, maybe that gets away from Davila, would help him and continue to be what's an impressive middle of the season.
Now, Mike, you said Caden Ferraro has one of the best walk-up songs with Holla Back Girl,
Yes.
but for me, it's still Robbie Levy walking up the hot and cold. I mean,
That's why I said one of the best. It ain't the best.
do you still think that for you, for the brownie points, you think Levy's still at the top of your list as well? We've been saying for a while it's been Levy. I do like Johnny Lopez with the gun with Southwest, as Levy's going to line one over the second baseman's head for a one-out single. So now he keeps his tear alive. And that's now a 4-game hitting streak for Levy himself.
Well, and to the point that we made at the beginning of that bat, something left-right hung over in the middle of the plate. He got a good look at it, ripped it to right field, and there you go. Robbie Levy's got some momentum building throughout this game. Now, to your point of the walk-up songs, Caden Ferraro, I mean, right back-to-back, it's
I
tough.
know, that's
it's tough,
so
'cause now I
tough.
just heard that, and now I'm, like, debating in my head. Johnny Lopez also has a pretty good one, so
Two absolute
we'll have to get a
bangers.
fan poll going.
Back to back. We should get a fan poll going on the social medias.
If you can hear it, comment underneath the YouTube live.
Yeah, comment-
and
comment.
We'll see.
Comment on the live chat for the YouTube. Who's the better walk-up song, Holla Back Girl or Hot and Cold? Levy versus Ferraro. But now the 0-1 to Ferraro. A little bit that way. 1-1. Ferraro 1-1 today with the walk in the first and then the single back in the third. Davia's 1-1, the lefty. Picks up his right leg and delivers. The curveball just misses upstairs, 2-1. That curveball, Mike, has been so surgical today. It's been his pitch of choice.
Oh, absolutely. And not even like where a pitcher starts off fast and then he, starts to dig in. No, he's gone throughout the entire 5 innings.
And a fly ball in the air to left. Katz with room. Squeezes it away. Makes the run. Levy will trek all the way back to first, and there'll be 2 outs.
Man, poor Cass. He's got to keep running all the way over to that third base line and into the bullpen. That's his 3rd time there. He's got 2 outs in this game.
Katz can't have a normal fly ball to him. He's got to
No.
make his run all the way to the
gotta
foul
make the mad
territory in the
dash.
bullpen. So the mad dash, as Mike just said, now with 2 outs, it will bring up Colby Wallace. And he's going to sock one first pitch in the air to right. And this one is going to be caught by Pascal, and that's going to end the inning. So Davia goes a quick 5 himself, too. This pitching duel is still not over. We're going into the top of the 6th, when we'll be right back here on Tom Sox TV. Back on Tom Sox TV, Mike Bulger, Mac Abram here. If you're just joining us this late, taking you all the way through for this game here. 1-0 your Tom Sox lead. James Hayes back on for his 6th inning of work. He is 1 out away for tying the longest start by a Tom Sox pitcher this summer against Palmer O'Byrne. That was against the Culpeper Cavaliers in a 4-3 win.
He needs 1. He needs 2 to break it.
And the 1-0 pitch called for a strike on Evans.
And real quick, a defensive change for the Tom Sox. Nick Parham heads over to shortstop. Ryan Wynn over to second. Normally they just flip-flop the two halfway through the game. So,
and the 1-1 bounces in the dirt. 2-1 now with the count to Evans.
Also, number 36, Caden Koch for the Turks. His warm-up's getting a lot more serious, and Will Pearson warming up for the Tom Sox in right field.
Hayes bounces that one, so he'll fall behind this one, 3-1, as Evans 0 for 1 today. 1 of 2 of Hayes' strikeout victims, the only one who Hayes caught looking. So we'll see if the righty can bounce back here. The 3-1. Umpire Mike Mackey says that was just low, and it will be ball 4 for the first base runner on. We'll see if. And Randy Tomlin will not make a move yet, so he'll let Hayes handle this situation right now himself.
I was about to say, I think if a runner gets in scoring position here, that's when the signal is going to be made for Will Pearson to come into the game. But until then, he's got to deal with the top of the lineup, and Cooper Prince. It's a pretty good day to start.
Evans, the stolen base threat, has 8 on the summer. Does not go first pitch, but that one goes outside. It's ball 1.
Well, you can even say right when you said that, Matt Parham and Wynn kind of looked at each other like, hey, keep your eye on him. He's fast.
This would be Parham covering it with the lefty up at the plate. Now it's in the dirt now, so Hayes a little bit of struggling to find a rhythm here as Cale Strickland asks him if he's okay. Just got confirmation just to make sure he's still in it, but Hayes
Here we go.
will circle around the mound, and it's going to be Adam Dolphinmeyer coming out just to check on him. Talk a little bit strategy-wise, too, see what they want here.
Yeah, this is going to be a pitching change. This is more of a stalling tactic. As you can see, the infield's kind of back, and this is just trying to buy some time for Pearson to get warmed up and maybe see if they can't get a quick out, maybe double play. It's going to be tough with, again, what we've said of Evans' speed at second. But, I mean, listen, for the Turks, this is a pretty good spot here. You can see the Tom Sox starter kind of slow down a little bit as you head into the 6th. You've got the core of your lineup coming on up. I mean, this is the perfect position. If you can get Prince on here, you can make a ton of noise here.
For Hayes, despite giving up the early walk and the 2-0 count, does look very calm after talking to Dolphinmeyer, so he'll check on his runner, gets his sign from Strickland. See if Evan can go out of that meeting, but he won't go there, and it will fall behind to 3-0.
I think he has a green light. I feel like he does. I feel like the Turks' offense is just
honestly,
that explosive.
Mike, I think you would have a green light just to surprise the Tom Sox, but with 3-0, you're still probably taking here. As he takes there, but it will take a strike as Hayes just challenged Prince right down the middle for a strike.
Prince knew it, too.
Sometimes those green lights will surprise teams. The 3-1. Runner doesn't go. And now this one's popped up, but it's going to go out and foul. Now from 3-0, Hayes works back. It's a full count now.
David Bell warming up with Caden Koch down there in the left field bullpen. They said foul, 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 and then he took cover. He ducked his head. He ran from the foul ball. So
got to be alert with these foul balls flying around.
It's tough. His back's turned to the play.
And now they're going to get Evans picked off. And now they're getting him in a pickle. Running him back is Parham, and Ferraro will slap the tag on him. And the first base umpire will call him out. So a big, big play there for Hayes. He'll tie the record now with 5 1/3 for the longest start of a Tom Sox pitcher this summer, tying Palmer O'Byrne, and now he's a strike away from taking it.
Man, if Ferraro's arm length wasn't as long as it is, I mean, I think Carter gets around, or excuse me, Evans gets around just in time. I mean, that was just able to grab his arm there.
But that's ball 4, so technically back-to-back walks, but only one guy will be on. Hayes looks into the dugout, but no move yet by Randy Tomlin. He still has his hands over his hips, so he wants Hayes to deal with this himself.
It's going to be tough, too. Jose Perez, he's 0-2 tonight, but then you've got Christopher Katz, who I've been on record throughout the season say he's got one of the most powerful swings in the entire VBL, and it's probably not even close.
And Mike, me and you saw that power at the VBL prospect game. He had a few, I think he had a big double that was in the left field gap back.
Well, he's got a home run, too, against the Tom Sox so far. So
does have there it is, does have a home run. Hit it here at CHS.
I mean, just look at him, too. I mean, like, his, leg is the size of me. So it's pretty much, if you can like imagine that, that's what it is.
So Mike has deemed Chris Katz the Quadzimoto of the
Pretty
VBL.
much. There you go. I'm an Eagles fan. Saquon Barkley's part of the squad. I got to start.
The Quad King has
Start saying it.
the 0-1 pitch misses outside to Perez. It's 1-1 with the count. 1 out.
Not only that, but Christopher Katz leads the VBL in hits and average. Well, he's tied to average. He's tied with Luke Hatcher, who's also on his team but not playing tonight.
And the 1-1 misses outside. So right now for Hayes, a little bit of a command problem, or location you would say, with Strickland.
Yeah,
On the same page, but a little bit of fatigue showing here this late.
just that wear and tear through 5 1/3 now.
And also the longest he's thrown this summer. Swung on a miss. Evens the count up at 2-2.
Here's the record, Matt. Record on the season.
Hangs in the pitch right here. Hopefully no jinx by me and Mike. We both knocked on the wood that we have in front of us. Hayes with the 2-2. Sets to come home. And a chopper. Could be a double play ball. Ryan Wynn just tags the runner. No throw over the first. So they'll go in the book as a 4 unassisted fielder's choice. But for James Hayes, you are now the longest tenured starting, well, not tenured, but starting pitcher to go this year. 5 2/3. So congrats to James Hayes.
Absolutely. Looks like
Now-
Randy Tomlin stood up. He's pointing at Hayes saying, hey, you're good, right? Or you want to be taken out here with Christopher Katz coming up.
And they're going to leave it to Hayes to finish the job here. So this could be his last batter, last inning. Who knows? Because he's been going through it here and been getting through it cleanly despite a few of the walks and getting some big plays. So now he'll take the lead for the longest start. And now he'll get a first pitch strike to Katz.
Well, even Will Pearson has stopped warming up, so I wouldn't be shocked here if he falls in the count at all. Probably going to see Pearson get the final out of the inning and then carry that into the 7th.
Hayes is 0-1. Swung on a miss, strike 2. He got Katz to swing and miss there. And for Mike, Katz made contact with that ball. Who knows, because that was a monster swing. Oh and 2. And Katz in the air to left. And this one is going to get down and get into the gap. And here comes the runner. Bob Weiss is going to send it. The throw home is going to be in time. What a throw. What a relay for the Sox to save Hayes' masterful start. 6 shutout innings for James Hayes, and they'll gun down the runner. That was Prince all the way at first. Your Tom Sox still lead it 1-0 here. Going in the bottom half of the 6th, you're here on Tom Sox TV. back in the bottom of the sixth. Your Tom Sox lead at 1-0. And if you're just joining us, you just missed an epic relay throw from the left fielder Dean Mijos to Nick Parham to gun down Prince at the plate to save the lead for the Tom Sox. Still a 1-0 lead. And for the Turks in the bottom of the sixth, they're going to go to a pitching change. It's going to be number 36, Caden Cox, out of St. John's River State College. And believe my apologies, it is Caden Koch, not Cokes. So,
yeah, Caden Koch, right-hander. So they're going to switch something up on the mound. 6'2", 190 rising sophomore. So far this season, he's made 6 appearances, 1 start, and 9 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 10 walks, 13 hits.
So now with his 7th appearance, a big one here against the Tom Sox, Mike, because we are still in a 1-0 lead here in this pitching duel. And we'll pull up Davia's final stat line since his night is over. Since the Turks,
looks like 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
What a night there for if you're Davia. I mean, you pitched great. Despite the late hit back in the second, you owned the night on the mound for Harrisonburg as the 1-2 pitch to Mijos upstairs goes to 2-2. And, Mike, in this league, we've seen a lot of high-scoring games for not only us but also for the Turks. It's good to see a pitching duel once in a while.
Oh, absolutely. And for Davia, yeah, like you let up 1 run.
Has Mijos in the air to right, but this one goes foul towards the Tom Sox bullpen.
But if you're Davia, you shouldn't be disappointed on the night. You have a Tom Sox team that averages 9 hits and 8 runs per game to 1 hit. Or to 1 run, excuse me. That's all you've got. So, really, you let your team have a chance here. They're 1 run away from tying this ball game up. And, again, probably the most explosive offense in the South Division can get it done for the Turks. So, it's going to be interesting, again, if you're Davia, keep your head high. It's not a bad performance whatsoever. And now it's going to be all up to Koch to take over, who, hey, he's made an appearance against the Tom Sox this season. He had a 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout.
The 2-2 inside the Mijos, and that runs it full.
And that helped the Turks grab a win against the Tom Sox at home at 10-4. So, hey, he's got some experience already against this lineup.
And now the full count pitch. That hits Mijos behind him on the back, so he'll flip the bat. Koch obviously did not mean to make that pitch, but that just ran a little way too inside, hits him in the back, and that's going to bring up Cooper Blauser for the Tom Sox, who back to Davia. They did average a hit an inning with 1 in every inning.
Yep.
But only scratched away 1 run, so still a tight ball game. Anyone's ball game here in the 6th, but they get an early base runner here with Mijos on the hit by pitch, and now Blauser up 0-2 today.
Well, it's left to the problem out of, yet again, 6 runners left on base. So it's been a problem for the Tom Sox so far this season, but it's going to be one that, hey, listen, if you can just cash a run in every so often, and as long as Will Pearson comes in and deals what he can do as of late, I mean, it's going to be a tough win for the Tom Sox.
The 1-0 pitch, that one almost runs inside and gets Blauser. He has to turn away, and looks like he rolled his eyes there, but no intention is. Koch stepped on the mound, but Delgado's going to go over there and talk to his pitcher.
It's hard. You know, you come to your first inning, first batter, you hit him, right? Now the confidence level, you got to get it back. You got to find your location. So for Delgado, this is simply just a, hey, take a breath. Let's nod, right? Get some stuff going here. Just find the strike zone. Just you and me having a catch.
Because right now, if Koch does end up allowing 2 base runners for the Tom Sox, Mike, there's no Joe Schmoes at the bottom of this order. You got Nick Parham, Cale Strickland, very good in pressure situations, especially with 2 outs, and then Lopez in the top of the order would be right next. So
when Bob Weiss is playing this safe, he's got number 14 Jackson Hall warming up right now in the bullpen, just in case.
The 2-0, right down the middle, called a strike to Blauser, brings it to 2-1.
And now you can tip your cap to Delgado. I mean, just great job calming your pitcher down and just saying, hey, let's just find something here and build off of it.
Koch's 2-1. Outside, and little check by the runner by Delgado, but no movement to Mijos at first. So we'll do it here at 3-1. Hitters count for Blauser. And the righty's delivery. Upstairs for ball 4. So hit by pitch and a walk for the Tom Sox. Gets 2 guys on and no outs. Bringing up Nick Parham.
And Bob Weiss literally just stood up right now. He's looking. He's kind of seeing to the bullpen of how the progress is going with Hull. And it's not where they want it right now. Scott Strickland's just going to sit down and talk Cale Strickland and say, hey, this is what we need to do here. Or excuse me, Nick Parham. This is what we need to do here. No outs, 2 runners on. Can't leave anybody on base. Let's bat him home.
Back in his first at-bat, we did see Parham try to squeeze the play for a bunt, but...
You got a Speedy Mijos on second.
Now there's going to be a delay here. There's going to be a little mound visit by the pitching coach for the Turks. So now this is definitely what Mike's saying, a little bit of delay. Try to get the lefty hole going. And as I just mentioned too, Strickland was just talking to Parham. We saw Parham bunt attempt already. Now with 2 guys on, we'll see if they try to move guys over with 1 out, leaving that up for Cale Strickland to deal with.
Well, I was just about to say, and then Cale Strickland to come up, and he's already 2 today. I mean, you got a dangerous hitter who knows, you know, what the starter did. Now, obviously, he's getting a lot of reps to seeing what the reliever's doing. So, but yeah, back to the point of what's happening with the Turks so far. This is just buying time right now for the bullpen. And again, it's a sticky situation for Coke. See if he can get out of it.
Coke, 2 guys on, no outs. Hole warming up. And now it's in the hands of Nick Parham. The first pitch right at the lefty. Squeeze attempt. Or sacrifice attempt, I should say, but fouled off to the left side for strike 1. So, read our minds. Me and Mike knew it that Parham was going to try to lay down a bunt early on, but now we'll see after failing that if he switches up the approach here with the 0-1 count, no outs.
You know, one of the best parts about being an intern here is that you get to come in, you get to see batting practice with Scott Strickland. It's like Scott Strickland communicating with the batters and teaching them, hey, here's how you bunt, here's how you do this, here's what we want to do in different situations. This is where it all comes into play. See what they can do.
The 0-1. Parham again gets the bunt down, but it goes foul again. It's now 0-2. Typically, if you can't get those 2 bunts down, Parham may get an earful, depends on how this at-bat goes, but hopefully it's going to be positive at the end of it. But now he has to fight back on an 0-2 count.
Well, I'm not even watching the play. I'm watching Scott Strickland right now. He just slapped his hands together, and now he just gave the signal to D. Mijos. It's probably one of his pet peeves of baseball. He's like, you guys got to know how to bunt here, especially up 1-0. Runs are rare and valuable. You need every single little bit that you can get.
Now Parham with the 0-2. Less likely to bunt here with the 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Coke. And Parham strikes out swinging. And back over to Strickland in the dugout, shaking his head. Definitely tried to execute one of those bunts, but now we'll call up Cale Strickland with 1 out and only valuable for the first run, the only run in this game, back in the 2nd inning. He's 2 for 2 today. And he has the RBI single back for that early 1-0 lead.
And for Cale Strickland, I mean, I think he's got the green light. I think you forget the bunting situation, you just go.
First pitch upstairs. And it's 1-0 to Strickland.
Shot by Coke. I mean, that was kind of a first pitch that you're not sure what they're going to do yet, so you go high, see if he shows bunt or not, and I think now he's got a good read on what Strickland wants to do here.
Strickland chasing his 3rd 3-hit game of the summer, but that one got good wood on it, but just goes foul.
I mean, listen, that right field is 290. That one probably went 280. It was very, very close. It just spliced right. It was a little late on it, so it's going to be a battle here between Coke and Strickland. This is a big out now. This can really determine a lot as we head to the back 3.
The 1-1 from Coke. Drops it in, but inside it's 2-1.
Delgado knows it, too. If he just framed it down a little bit more, it looks like we're going to get a possible timeout? No. No, Coach.
Just a defensive.
Yeah, just Coach kind of wanted to come out and say hi.
Tactic there for the Turks. And that's going to be a ground ball. Could be a double play ball. Bobbled! And a flip to second is still in time. So they'll get Blauser at second for the force on the fielder's choice. 6-4. But it takes away the double play ball, and it will give a big opportunity with 2 outs to Johnny Lopez.
Man, if you're Perez, you're just shaking your head at that one. That was a double play. It would have been close at first base, but that could have been a double play. You get your pitcher and your team out of this inning, and now you get a runners in the corner situation, and for the Tom Sox, you get a new pitcher now to see.
And we are going to take a quick break here on Tom Sox TV, but safe and sound, Mike, that starts blasting. We'll be right back here on Tom Sox TV. Oh. Mike Bolger sent us back a little too early, but Mike, love you anyway. Still 1-0 your Tom Sox lead after the pitching change. They will go over to Spencer Biggerstaff, Mike, and talk a little bit about Spencer's numbers.
Yeah, Rising Junior right now, 5'11", 160 from Oklahoma City. He is from Oklahoma, for those of you wondering. And, yeah, he's a utility player. He's taken a couple at-bats so far for the Turks this season. But mostly he's done his work on the mound. He's 2 of 1. He's got a 6.60 ERA. Mostly as a reliever. He's made 1 start in 8 appearances, 15 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts.
The 1-1 to Johnny Lopez, lefty on lefty, which is what Bob Weiss wanted out of his staff. Lopez today, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. And the 2-1, Lopez swing and a miss there. Moves it to 2-2.
This is huge, Matt. I mean, 1-run ball game. You got a speedy Mijos on third. You got one of your best hitters in the lineup. You got to find something here.
The 2-2 to Lopez. Inside for ball 3, runs it full. And, Mike, that brings you back to the Parham at-bat where you failed to get down the bunts.
Yep, it's the tough out there for Nick Parham. And, hey, listen, if you're Lopez, if you can draw a walk here, this is important because then you got Ryan Wynn, who's already got a single on the night.
The runner at first is going to go on the pitch. That's Strickland, who goes now. That's down the middle on the breaking ball. Strike 3 call. So Lopez will strike out, and the Turks keep this game remained at 1-0. But we're going to take a break here on Tom Sox TV. I'm going to send it back over to Mike Bolger to take the rest of the reins on the broadcast after the break here. Stick and stay with us here. You're watching Tom Sox TV.
After the longest outing by a Tom Sox pitcher so far in the 2024 season, James Hayes heads to the bullpen, and Will Pearson comes on out with the Tom Sox up 1-0. Welcome back, everybody, to Tom Sox TV. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabral along with you guys, as it's been a pitcher's duel thus far. Let's see what the Turks' bottom of the lineup can get done here.
Quickly, Mike, before we talk about Will Pearson, James Hayes' final line, 6 innings pitches, the longest by a Tom Sox, just we're going to say it again, 3 hits allowed, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs. So what a clean night for James Hayes. But now, headed over to Will Pearson now. A sub 3 ERA at 2.79 in his this is now his 9th appearance. 9.2 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks allowed, and 7 hits. So big spot if you're Pearson because it's still a 1-0 game, Mike.
Big spot indeed as he faces number 32, Jack Canizaro, here in the middle of the Turks lineup. The third pitch way outside will be 2-1 now. As if you're the Turks, you're headed to the core of your lineup. You're down 1. You got some momentum going in the 6th, but outside of that, not much clicking. So a bunch would help here as the 4th pitch hits Canizaro right square in the back. He's all good. He's just going to shake it off. Head down to first base, bringing up number 20, Anthony Pascal, who's over 2 tonight, flew out, grounded out. And he'll step in looking for his first hit. As you said, Matt, man, James Hayes, Georgia guy, now going to a Pearson, Georgia guy, so switching it off now, but the Tom Sox keeping it righty v righty. I mean, we've seen the Turks, as the first pitch is in there for 0-1. We've seen the Turks go lefty, righty, lefty, but so far, I mean, Adam Dolphinmeyer, Randy Tomlin are sticking with what they've known, and what they've known best is the righties are absolutely dealing. Pearson fires this one, dribble down the third base line. We 0-2 now. And I mean, when you look at Pearson's number, his second outing with the Tom Sox of the season, he allowed 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them were earned. Ever since, he has not allowed a multi-hit game, and he's not allowed any runs. So he has been on point as of late, to say the least. The 0-2, no outs, runner on first. Pearson fires this one over to third base, could be dangerous. Wallace fumbles it, now fires to the first. Is it in time? It isn't. So Wallace bobbles it, and both runners will reach base safely. Turks got 2 runners on here in the 7th.
Big 2 runners there, and for the Tom Sox second error of the night, or that'll be their second in the game. My apologies. The first one was the Turks, but now E5 to Colby Wallace, and with no outs and 2 guys on, this is just, why those at-bats are so important with the runners on and the guys left on base.
Alex Uloa now up to the plate. Corners of the infielder in. He shows bunt outside, so be 1-0 count, but now Will Pearson knows what the batter wants to do here. Kind of similar situation to what we just saw on the bottom of the 6th with the Tom Sox. Wallace on third. He's basically into the grass. And Ferraro on first. He is way up in there. I mean, you can see him. He's a good 2 steps into the grass with both shortstop and second baseman out. Second pitch drops in there for strike 1. Uloa doesn't like it. He showed bunt again. So the Turks are sticking with it. Bob Weiss on third base says stick with our game plan thus far. Canizaro on second. Pascal on first. Pearson with the 1-1. Fires this one. Lays down a bunt. Pearson's going to come up. Fire over to third base. Gets 1. And Wallace is going to hold there. So a very smart play. Heads-up play from Pearson. Keeps the runners the same. Basically just exchanges it, and that's it.
Very smart play by the pitcher, Pearson. Already knew that they were doing the bunt on him. He was able to charge off the mound and throw it cleanly to third for the old school 1-5 putout. You don't see a lot of that unless it's this bunt play with the guys on. So big first out for Pearson. And Mike, he's a ground ball away from getting out of it.
Upcoming now, Cam Nelson will be the first lefty Pearson faces. With 2 runners on, he steps off, kind of flicks a ball over to second, but nobody covering, so step right back on. So Pascal now on second. Uloa on first. Both average leads. Pearson fires this one. Goes behind the batter, and Nelson. Strickland can't grab it in time. Both runners advance a base. And now the Turks are 90 feet away. 180 from taking the lead, but 90 feet from at least tying this one here in the 7th.
100% Mike, and now if you're Pearson, you have to calm down here because now the double play ball is out the picture. You can't do that anymore to get out of your inning jam. You have to face the batter here. Regardless if you have to sacrifice an out for a run to tie the game up, your batter is who you're focused on.
Runs are probably the most valuable thing right now in a pitcher's duel. Pearson, the 1-0, 1 out. Fires this one, grabs the corner of the plate for 1-1. Cam Nelson tonight, 0 of 1, flew out. And he walked in the 5th. He was stranded on first base after a double play. Pearson, the 1-1. Fires too far inside. Strickland tried to bring it back to the middle of the plate. Couldn't do so. So Nelson will go ahead in the count. Pascal on third. Uloa on second. Pearson fires too far outside. Tried to get him the chase. It actually looked like that one got away from him a bit. So now he's down in the count. Potentially loading the bases. Matthew Delgado on deck. He's already 1 of 2 today. A single, and then that double play that ended a couple innings ago. This one ripped into center field. Lopez is under it, makes the grab. Tagging up now is Pascal. He's going to come all the way home. Parham gets the relay, fires over to third. He gets the tag out. My goodness. Johnny Lopez and Nick Parham combined for back-to-back tagouts to end innings and keep the score 1-1 now. That runner does score.
For Harrisonburg.
Michael, keep it here quickly. Just another big relay here by the Tom Sox. We haven't seen a lot of these bang-bang plays like that coming from the outfield this year, and we've seen 2 of them here tonight. One at the plate, one at third. Just what a good communication by the infield and the outfield as a whole for this defense.
So the first run of the night crosses for the Turks. We're going to head to the bottom of the 7th. What can the Tom Sox do in response? Ryan Wynn, Robbie Levy, Caden Farrar will have to answer next. Ryan Wynn steps up to the plate in a much-needed situation as the Turks tie the ball game up 1-1 in the 7th. Here we go. The righty, so far today, 1 of 3. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. He'll go against Spencer Biggerstaff, who came into the game in the 6th, able to get a strikeout against Johnny Lopez and end the inning. Second pitch outside again for 2-0. Robbie Levy on deck. Caden Ferraro in the hole. So a lot of the quality hitters so far for the Tom Sox coming up next. This one drops in 2-1.
And Mike, you just mentioned it. We got a brand new ball game now, 1-1. Something that these two teams haven't seen a lot. A low-scoring game this late in a game. We'll see how they respond here with Wynn.
Wynn fouls that one down the first base line and into the woods. Be a 2-1 count now. Excuse me, 2-2. Infield about neutral stance. Outfield the same. Wynn takes a breath. This one chopped over to shortstop. Perez fields it cleanly, fires the first, and this one drops out of the glove of Cannizzaro. Wynn will be safe. There'll be an error on the first baseman, so Robbie Levy will now step up to the plate with no outs and a runner on first.
Yeah, for our viewers back at home, you know you could score that. It's score's discretion, either the shortstop or the first baseman. But Perez had a good quick throw, and there was leather there by the first baseman. Could have picked him out, so that will be an E4 on the play. I mean E3, my apologies. But an E3, not an E6.
As Robbie Levy steps in, swing and a miss there for the 0-1 count now. A quick shout out to our comments section. We did get a comment saying "Holdback Girl is hard," so I guess that is one vote.
That's our winner.
That's our winner for tonight. So
So
there
thank
you go.
to the person who listened to us.
Robbie Levy hits this one pretty well in the left center field. Under it is Katz. He's going to call everybody off, makes the grab, and keeps Wynn at first, bringing up Caden Ferraro now to the plate.
And you know what?
There it is.
You got your win, and here's your wish. Here comes the walk-up song. Courtesy of Caden Ferraro's walk-up song. So it's got some fans in the comments, and hopefully he'll turn up here for you.
Already 1 of 2 tonight. Single, walk, and a flyout. The lefty takes first pitch in for strike 1. Ryan Wynn dancing a little bit on first base. Colby Wallace is going to be on deck. Scott Strickland is right there on the dugout's fence, watching Bickerstaff work. He's going to fire this one. Swing and a miss there from Ferraro. He'll go down now in the count 0-2. The tied ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Bickerstaff fires this one way too high. Try to get in the chase. Delgado pops right up and keeps Wynn at first. Bickerstaff against his 4th batter of the night. Came in the 6th. Now at the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? Second base umpire says he does. So Bickerstaff gets a flyout from Robbie Levy, then a strikeout swinging from Ferraro. Now Colby Wallace will be the last chance possibly for the Tom Sox to try to get Ryan Wynn home. So far this season, he's 19 to 57. He got on base via an error in the 3rd. He was stranded on first, and he's flown out twice now. So 2 outs, righty. First pitch, first swing, fires it over to Perez, who gets it over to second base in time to retire the side. So, for the Tom Sox, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves a ball game headed to the top of the 8th here on Tom Sox TV. As Dreams and Nightmares plays over Charlottesville High School, the Tom Sox will have to defend a 1-1 tied ball game here in the top of the 8th. Welcome back, everybody, to Tom Sox TV. Mike Bolger, Macabrom along with you as Matthew Delgado steps in against Will Pearson. Pearson fires this one. Delgado chops it to third base. Wallace gets it. Pass the fire all the way across the field, and it goes wide. A Ferraro at first. So Delgado gets on base. Looks like that's going to be ruled as an error on the third baseman, Wallace. It's going to be the 2nd of the night for the Tom Sox.
Second of the night for Wallace, back-to-back innings. But smart heads-up play there by Cale Strickland, running down to follow that play to make sure holds that base runner Delgado at first.
Now Jalen Evans will have to step in. So far tonight, he's 0 of 1. Struck out once, was walked in the 6th, but then caught in a rundown. Pearson fired this one, bunt. It's basically a fly ball, and Will Pearson trips over himself. He's trying to get to the ball, kind of going, basically crossing the paths of him and Jalen Evans. So we'll reset and do it again.
That might be the most nonchalant somersault fall ever, and then the way he just got back up, axe kill Strickland for the ball. So hopefully that got Pearson fired up to work around this inning. But now, this inning is very important for the Tom Sox in this 1-1 ball game. The runner Delgado at first does hold the go-ahead run.
Pearson takes a breath. Showing bunt again. This one pretty well hit down the third base line. Fumbling as Wallace. All runners reach base safely. And the Turks making some noise here in the 8th. Tied 1-1.
Back-to-back errors for the Tom Sox there. 3 in the game. And right now, the momentum swing, the pendulum has swung all to Harrisonburg.
Daniel Powell warming up in the Tom Sox bullpen as Randy Tomlin comes on out. No signal yet. With 2 runners on, no outs. Will Pearson might be relieved here, and he will. Randy Tomlin gets the signal. Daniel Powell comes out onto the mound. So we have a tied 1-1 ball game. 2 runners on. Turks trying to make some noise. We'll get you guys all that and next coming up on Tom Sox TV. The Tom Sox have led through 6 innings. Then the Turks tied up in the 7th. We're on to the 8th, where Will Pearson, his day is done. Daniel Powell comes into the game. Pearson's line is closed, however, because both runners got on via errors. So his shows bunt there. His day's done. 1 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Daniel Powell comes in. Matt, probably one of the best relievers the Tom Sox have in their bullpen.
Just a shutdown guy when he's on the mound. 1.42 ERA. This is his 9th appearance of the summer. He has 4 saves.
Cooper Prince shows bunt again. Both times missing, so it'll be 2-0.
12 2/3 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts. He's only allowed 6 hits this entire summer, Mike.
With Delgado on second, Evans on first. Powell will have to find something here with no outs in the 8th. Prince shows bunt again. This one fouls off into the Turks dugout. This couple Turks race after it. Now have to reset. Ferraro on first is basically in the infield, as you can see to the right of your screen. Wallace on third. He's just on the outer edge of the grass. As Parham over on shortstop, right behind Delgado, the runner. Bunt again. This ball gets away from Strickland a bit, but no runners will advance as Strickland reacted quickly. Prince tonight, he's walked twice. He's caught stealing on one of those occasions, and he has a single, so 1 of 1. He's been stranded on first twice. Obviously, again, was caught stealing in the top of the first inning. Powell, the 3-1. No outs here in the 8th. The windup, the pitch, the bunt. This one missed by Ferraro. Daniel Powell tried to throw to first. He's just going to hold up, and now the bases are juiced. Jose Perez comes up to the plate. On deck, Christopher Katz, and this is really starting to get dangerous here for the Tom Sox, Matt.
3 straight errors in the row in the field for the Tom Sox, so right now you got to think that they're going to call the infield up, and the play is definitely going to be going to Strickland at the plate.
Bases loaded, infield as in, outfield still in their neutral position. Daniel Powell on the mound will have to face Perez, who's 0-3, 2 strikeouts, 1 ground out. The lefty takes the first pitch in for strike 1.
And that's all Powell needs to do in these at-bats now. He knows the bases are loaded. It's out of his hands, unfortunately, as the pitcher with 3 errors in a row. He's got to go at these batters and get them uncomfortable in the box.
Powell takes a breath. Gets the nod. Fires. This one just missing the strike zone. Little too low, it looks like. It's going to be a 1-1 count. It seems like every turn, every strike, every ball, it's going to matter in this situation for Powell on the mound with no outs in a tied 1-1 ball game. Powell fires this one. Check swing, did he go? No, it's too low in the dirt. Cal Strickland keeps it in front of him. Now Perez digs in. 2-1 count. Infield in. Powell fires. This one chopped over to first base. Ferraro's going to fire right back to home. Cal Strickland dives out, tags the runner out, and my goodness, what a play by Ferraro on first, keeping all the runners the same, grabbing it out, and most importantly, keeping it a 1-1 ball game.
100%, Mike. I said it before the play. They're going to be coming home with it. Ferraro on a tough play. Off-balance throw to Strickland, who fell off balance. Went for the tag, but just for safety, did step on the plate. So regardless if he tagged or stepped on the plate, the Tom Sox get a big out at the plate, and they're ground ball away from technically getting out the inning. But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done here if you're Daniel Powell.
So a G3-2, you don't see that too often. Actually, at all. I don't think I've ever seen that, to be fair. But now bases remained loaded, but a double play can end the inning for Daniel Powell, who relieved Will Pearson. Powell fires this one to Christopher Katz, who fouls this one off. It looks like Cal Strickland's mask a little bit. He's good, though. He goes into the fencing. Umpire Mike Mackey.
And for the Tom Sox, this is the last guy you want up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Chris Katz, just one of the best hitters in the entire Valley Baseball League. Definitely up in the top in the South Division.
He's got 1 home run, 29 RBIs. Low 1, too low. Strickland had to stretch out for that one. Gives his pitcher the nod, saying we're right there. Christopher Katz staying disciplined, trying to keep the inning alive here for the Turks. 1-1 count. Infield's back. Powell fires some heat. Looks like he held it on too long. It's in the dirt. 2-1 now. And after Christopher Katz, it's going to be Jack Canizaro, who so far today he's 0-2. He's hit by a pitch, and he was tagged out in the 7th. That ended the inning, but also allowed the runner to score, tying up the ball game. Powell, the 2-1. Katz, swing and a miss there. It's a powerful one at that, but he misses just late. And now Daniel Powell's 1 strike from getting back-to-back outs here. What's going to be, when we look back at it, Matt, probably the most important inning of this ball game so far.
100%, Mike.
Corners are in. Interior of the infield is back. Powell, the 2-2. Fires this one. Katz thought about it just outside, though.
That was a nice miss, Mike, but it framed just a little bit better by Cal Strickland. Could have got away with for Mike Mackey, but he's going to say that one just went out, and we got a full count with the bases juiced in and out.
I don't think you want to stretch his glove out with Katz's swing there, man, hitting his hand. That would not feel too good. If we catch it behind home plate, the 3-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Powell fires the Katz, swing and a miss. Daniel Powell gets probably the most important out of the night so far, but now upcoming is Jack Canizaro, who, if he can get him out here, Matt, my goodness, what a relieving performance from Daniel Powell.
I mean, start off from 0-1 to almost 3-1, back to 3-2, and he gets the strikeout. Doesn't get better than that. DP keeping them in this game.
He's not out of it yet, though. Bases are still loaded. Delgado on third, Evans on second, Prince on first. Or excuse me, Evans on third. As this one's popped up but goes foul. So Daniel Powell gets ahead of the count in an 0-1 situation. Again, excuse me, that's Evans on third, Prince on second, Perez on first after Delgado got out on the ground out to home. Cast struck out. That's why we got 2 outs so far in the top of the 8th. Powell fires this one, drops 2 on outside. Canizaro held up, thought about it for a second, but now goes up, ties the count up at 1-1. Infield back in its normal spot. Parham's a little far left, as Wynn on second base is kind of covering the bag as much as he can. The 1-1. This one again drops. It looks like it might have got a little bit of Strickland, but he says he's good. Be 2-1. Now Strickland's going to go out for a mound visit. Looks like those 2 pitches they wanted a little higher than what they were getting. And that's exactly what probably Strickland's going to be talking about. No action in the Tom Sox bullpen. Turks do have something going on. That won't matter until the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Tom Sox will look to take their second lead of the night with Dean Mijos, Cooper Blauser, and Nick Parham. But first, the home team's got to get out of this jam. 1-1 ball game. 2-1's your count. 2 outs. Powell fires. Canizaro, the rip, the miss. And now it's going to be 2-2.
Big upstairs challenge picked by Daniel Powell. And Canizaro swinging out of his shoes on that one. Just a little bit upstairs, though, but now we bring it back to 2-2.
Powell, probably the most important pitch of the game. Right here, the 2-2. He fires this one, swing and a miss. Daniel Powell, my goodness, gets 3 straight outs, gets a celebration. He's mobbed by his coaches and team right there at the dugout, and he ends an important inning for the Tom Sox. Tom Sox, Turks tied at 1 apiece. Home team will look to gain back the lead here in the bottom of the 8th, right here on Tom Sox TV. After an absolute nail-biter to end the top of the 8th inning, the Tom Sox will look to rally here as we got a tied 1-1 ball game with Dean Mijos facing Matt, a new pitcher on the mound.
Josh Davis from Clemson University. No stats in the summer, none from his collegiate level back in Clemson this year. The 6'1" righty will be a rising senior at Clemson. 205 from Goose Creek, South Carolina.
So the Turks sticking with the righty-lefty combo back and forth. Dean Mijos tonight, 2 walks. He scored the first and only run of the ball game for the Sox, and he was hit by a pitch in the 6th and stranded on third base. In his 4th plate appearance, he takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Davis fires this one, kind of a sidewinder, and just misses the plate, 2-0. For Spencer Biggerstaff, he went an inning and a third, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So quite the performance from him, quite the performance from Daniel Powell that past frame, as the third pitch misses down low, 3-0. Right now for the Turks, they're going to face the bottom of the lineup that has scored and hit the only run of the night in for the home team, in Dean Mijos and Cale Strickland. Then they'll head to the top. So bottom 4 batters coming up, as this one hits Mijos right square in the back. Looks like it grabbed Delgado too, so he's going to head over to first base for the 3rd time tonight on his 3rd walk. Second hit by pitch, and now Cooper Blauser will come up to the plate.
Well, Mike, what's worse than getting hit by a pitch? Getting it twice in a game. So Mijos, a real trooper tonight.
In back-to-back innings nonetheless. Cooper Blauser, 0-2. He was walked in the 5th inning, caught stealing in the 6th. So now he'll come on up, facing Davis for the first time tonight, with Nick Parham on deck, Cale Strickland in the hole. Tom Sox have the leading runner on first. First pitch, fires this one too low, ball 1.
And what an at-bat here for Cooper Blauser, joining the team late. Already on a small role, but nothing would be a bigger at-bat here than if he can try to help the Tom Sox inch closer to a win here in the 8th.
4 of 18 on the season. Just have 1 home run to his name and 7 RBIs. The righty v righty matchup. Davis fires that one, able to grab the plate for his first strike in 6 pitches. He's now able to find the zone here. Action again in the Turks bullpen, so they're rotating through most of their arms tonight. They know how important this win is. As runner goes, swing and a miss. Delgado fires over to second base. Tag not applied in time, and Dean Mijos grabs a stolen base here and advances the Tom Sox into a runner in scoring position situation. And Scott Strickland saw that, and he jumped right up, knowing what that means. So now he signals over to Mijos. Mijos also on second base in that 6th inning where the Tom Sox nearly scored. But a strikeout, fielder's choice and strikeout, got the Turks out of the inning. The 1-2. This one misses inside, nearly grabs Blauser. I'm going to say it doesn't, so it'll be 2-2.
Such a big at-bat here for Blauser. Could be a difference of moving that go-ahead run over the 3rd or getting a huge out the Turks would get.
In the South Division, the Tom Sox lead at 20-8, with the Turks right behind them at 17-9. Swing and a miss there from Blauser, so Joshua Davis gets his first strikeout, first out of the 8th to bring up Nick Parham. Looks like we're going to get a mound visit here from the Turks. But a quick look at the South Division. As we just said, Sox ahead in it by 2 games. Turks right behind them at 17-9. Lumberjacks 13-14, Braves 12-16, Cavs then 10-17, and Generals 10-18. That's 2 weeks now away from the start of the playoffs, Matt. So an important time for a lot of these top 4 teams in South Division.
And we look on your screen, Mike. We got some out-of-town scoreboards.
Absolutely.
Oh, let me take the reins
Come on,
here.
man, read it
Up
off,
in the north, Winchester leads the Cannons of Purcellville 4-3 right now. That game is actually that's the over. That's the final score. 4-3 Winchester wins. In the top of the 7th, Newmarket leads Front Royal 12-2. Woodstock leaves Strasburg 6-2 in their bottom of the 8th game. Over here, 1-1, as you know here from CHS. bottom of the 6th, 9-3, Waynesboro leads. And then Culpeper and Stanton, 6-4, bottom of the 5th. Culpeper leads that one. So tight game so far tonight in the VBL. We got a 1-1 game, a 6-4 game. We got a 4-3 win earlier. And a few scores just getting a little out of hand.
And just of note, the Express v. Bandits game. Bandits lead at 6-2. Right now, the Express are 19-10, Matt. They're a game and a half back from the Tom Sox to take the VBL entirely. So that's an important game. The Bandits beat the Express. It's definitely going to make a couple headlines across the VBL tonight. Also, making a couple of headlines is the Generals, who are 10-18, beating the Lumberjacks, who have won 6 straight so far, and they've climbed all the way back to making an argument for a potential playoff team. So man, oh man, we've got a lot of noise, a lot of action happening around, but all of it right now on the field for the Tom Sox and Turks. 1-1 ball game. It's been a pitcher's duel thus far. A couple of bullpens getting some tight situations, but able to work out of it.
And that's just been the story tonight for both teams, just how good the pitching has been. I mean, James Hayes still, I can't even get over his start, unfortunately. He's going to go as a no decision tonight, but for him, looks great for him, looks great for his college coaches, wherever he ends up pitching next year, and just should be a fun time. I mean, Mike, a 1-1 game here in the 8th, this game means a lot right now, not just for the Tom Sox, but also for the team chasing them behind them in the standings, which is here, the Turks. So this game means everything to both teams, so we're getting a pure game of baseball here tonight at Charlottesville High School.
Number 21, Benjamin Craig comes in for number 47, Joshua Davis. So his night will be done after a third of an inning pitched. And for Benjamin Craig, rising junior, 6'3", 215. And he'll make his 11th appearance of the season thus far. Matt, what do we got on our guy?
Benjamin Craig, 1-0 win-loss record, 4.26 ERA in 12 and 2/3 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, has allowed 11 walks and 10 hits. And he hasn't pitched. He's pitched 2 nights ago in the 10-6 win over the Braves. He went an inning and 2/3, allowing 2 runs. Had 3 big strikeouts, facing 9 batters.
Well, he's going to look to have another big night here tonight. Lefty, sidewinder again. We probably have that's the second one tonight for the Turks. Misses there, so it'll be 1-1 with Mijos over on second base. Nick Parham at the plate. Oh, excuse me, Sam Muma. So both teams making a couple switches here in the bottom of the 8th. Kel Strickland on deck. So Nick Parham's day is done. He grounded out twice, struck out once. And Muma comes up to the plate so far this season. He's 10 of 56. For those of you, that is a 178 as there's a swing and a miss. Man, he just missed that one. We have 2-2 count now. He's got 9 RBIs so far. So looking for another one here. It would hand the Tom Sox a 2-1 lead. Their second of the night. Mijos taking off on second. The swing, grounder over to shortstop and Perez. He's going to hold up. Now fire over to first. Get the ground out, but Dean Mijos heads over to third base. Now with Kel Strickland, Matt, we saw this situation basically earlier in the game in the second.
Yeah, and perfectly executed hit and run there. Unfortunately, went right to the infielder, so Mijos has to hold over at third base, but we've seen already Kel Strickland has power with 2 outs. He was clutch earlier in this game. Can he be the one who's been on base 3 times tonight, 2 for 2 technically in the book? Can he be the one to help deliver the Tom Sox a massive win tonight or take this 2-1 lead?
First pitch in there for a delayed strike 1 call.
That was the latest call we got all night by Mike Mackey. Mike?
He's been pretty good tonight, but that one a little late as, again, we're getting to the final couple outs here for both teams. Craig fires this one. Strickland dribbles down third base line, just foul. That would have absolutely scored Dean Mijos. Man, now he goes down on a 0-2 count with the top of the lineup right on deck. Matt, you're shaking your head right now.
A game of inches, Mike, a game of inches, and that one just shows how cruel sometimes the game of baseball can be.
Benjamin Craig takes a sigh of relief. The windup, the 0-2, misses outside for a 1-2 count now.
Good take by Strickland, being disciplined there, knowing that was running way out of the zone, and they were going to try to get him to bite on that.
With Giant Lopez on deck, Kel Strickland, the 1-2. Craig fires this one again, kind of the same spot, not the same height. It would be a 2-2, trying to get in the chase. Mijos with Randy Tomlin right behind him on third base. Takes a couple step lead. Strickland, the 2-2. This one dribbled right to the pitcher and Benjamin Craig. He's going to flip it over to first and keep the Tom Sox off the board. My goodness, what a play from him coming in. And for the Tom Sox, no runs, no hits, no errors, one man left on base. We got ourselves a 1-1 ball game headed to the 9th inning right here on Tom Sox TV. One is your score headed to the top of the 9th inning here on Tom Sox TV. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabram along with you guys for what's been an intense pitcher's duel, to say the least. Anthony Pascal will face Daniel Powell to start off this possible final frame. Could see extras here if the final 6 outs can't produce any runs. First pitch too high, 1-0.
For Daniel Powell now in this 1-1 game in the 9th, could set him up for a good spot or could set him up to something bad now, because he will take the control of the win-loss.
Powell, this one fires. Pascal fouls it into the fencing. Quick defensive change for the Tom Sox. Sam Muma, after he came in to pinch hit for Nick Parham, is now over on shortstop. So Muma on shortstop with Powell, who can really take a sigh of relief now. He doesn't have anybody on base after coming in with bases loaded. The 1-1. This one, swing and a miss from Pascal. Be 1-2. I mean, Powell just, what an inning. Came in at the fielder's choice at home. 2 straight strikeouts against 2 of the best batters in this Turks lineup. Now, if you're Pascal, you're looking to start off the inning strong here with the hit. The 1-2. Powell fires. This one, swing and a miss. Daniel Powell, 3 straight strikeouts coming out of the bullpen. My goodness. He is wheeling and dealing on the mound. Alex Uloa will look to end it here with 1 out.
Yeah, big at-bat for Uola. And for Powell, you can't say anything better. Just been wheeling and dealing. And he came in a situation like with 3 guys on and the bases loaded, and he was able to get out of it. And he's looked really good ever since.
Righty fires. Try to break that one down in a way, but a little too high. It would be 1-0 for Uloa. He has grounded out, flew out, and then a fielder's choice in the 7th. So he's been on base once. It's the second pitch in there for strike 1. Strickland, nice job framing that. Powell, the 1-1. Fires. This one fouled all the way back behind us and into the trees. Be 1-2 with Cam Nelson on deck. Nelson tonight has flown out twice, walked once, was stranded on first. And we possibly may see Matthew Delgado. Powell, the 1-2. This one in the dirt, kind of got away from him there. It'll be 2-2 now.
That one went near our mic down by the field, and that ring off the post really rang our ears.
It looks intact, so we're good. Crowd mic stays intact with the 2-2 count, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Powell fires, just missing the bottom of the strike zone. It would be 3-2. It would have been 4 straight for the righty. With no one on, 1-1 ball game, 1 out. The full count. Powell Winds up. Fires. This one dribbled over Muma on shortstop. Fires to first in time. And we've got 2 away here. Turks possibly down to their final out.
Cool, calm,
Nelson.
and my bad, Mike. But cool, calm, and collected. Sam Muma taking his time just entering the game, firing it over to Caden Ferraro over at first, and a big second out there. And every out's a big out, Mike, right now in this 1-1 game. And you can't really tell by our screen, but both teams, everyone's just up at the fence right now. This game means a lot to both teams in the standings, and we're in one for a classic, Mike.
Players are locked in, fans accordingly. First pitch just misses outside. So Powell will go 1-0 now. My goodness. I mean, you talk about a lot of the performances tonight. I mean, James Hayes had a great one. But I think if Daniel Powell can retire the side here, there has been no greater than him. Second pitch in there for strike 1. Delayed call. It'll be 1-1 to Cam Nelson, the DH for tonight. From Wake Forest. He's got 7 stolen bases so far they're out this season. So when he gets on base, he's quite dangerous. But now the lefty with the 1-1. Takes that one outside. He's got 9 hits. With a .231 coming into the game. His last appearance at the Tom Sox, he was 1 of 4. The lefty for the 2-1. This one just too far down low. Fans don't like the call. But it'll be a 3-1 count. No one on. Interior of the infield, kind of playing away from center field, leaving a wide open gap. 3-1. This one just misses inside. And Cam Nelson walks to first, representing the game leading run here in the top of the 9th. And they'll send Matthew Delgado up to the plate. Delgado, the catcher for tonight for the Turks. So far, he had a single in the 3rd, was stranded on second base. Had a double play in the 5th, and then an error in the 8th. He almost scored, but a fielder's choice got him tagged out at home. Now I have to face Powell again. Runner goes. Nelson. This one gets away from Strickland. Nelson's going to be safe at second for his 8th stolen base on the season. And with a 1-0 count now, Tom Sox kind of have to look over their shoulder with Nelson in scoring position. Win behind him on second. Muma kind of playing back on shortstop, more to left field line, excuse me. As Powell steps back on the rubber. The 1-0. Tries to drop that one in. Great frame from Cale Strickland. Be 1-1 to Delgado at the plate. The 1-1. Runner on second. Powell fires. This one hit pretty well in the shallow left field. Muma calling everybody off, and Sam Muma makes the grab. He's got 2 outs in the inning to retire to the side. And now it all comes down to this. 3 outs for the Turks. They send into extras. 1 run could end it here for the Tom Sox. We're on to the bottom of the 9th right here on Tom Sox TV. Johnny Lopez, Ryan Wynn, Robbie Levy will be the three facing Benjamin Craig in a tied 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the ninth. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabram along with you guys for what has been an absolute incredible game between the Harrisonburg Turks 17-9 and Tom Sox 20-8. Johnny Lopez steps in to an 0 count, takes first pitch in the back. And Johnny Lopez, just like that, gets on base for the game-winning run. Ryan Wynn will look to hit him in.
And Mike, at this point in the game, doesn't matter how you get on, even if you have to sacrifice your body, that hit by pitch is worth a lot right now with Johnny Lopez being the game. He'd be considered the game-winning run right now at first. And no bigger spot right now than Ryan Wynn coming up.
There is action in Turks' bullpen, but he kind of got up there late, so not sure if he'll be able to warm up in time to save Craig here. Lopez on first. Ryan Wynn so far tonight has a single and reached base via an error. Shows bunt, pulls back, 1-0.
Good take there by Wynn with the bunt sign.
Ryan Wynn, 23 of 73 on the season, 315 average. He has 1 home run, 12 RBIs. Scott Strickland will take a quick batter's timeout here down the first base line. Wynn showed bunt. Now Delgado is going to ask for a mound visit too.
Probably prepping up that pitcher on the left field bullpen, Mike.
Absolutely, and we'll get you guys that number and name here in a little bit. But for now, it's going to be Benjamin Craig on the mound. And Matt, first pitch, hits the batter. Now you got to settle back into what's been a great lineup for the Tom Sox.
And warming up for the Turks in that bullpen is number 18. That's Chad Harvey, the right-handed pitcher from Mooresville, North Carolina, the Wingate native. So we'll see if the stall time right now could help him get into this game. If not, this is all right now for the Turks and for Ryan Wynn. Had to talk to Strickland before that batter's timeout. It's either you do a job here or you be smart and get on base any way you can.
Turks have beat the Tom Sox 3 of 2 so far this season. Ryan Wynn shows bunt, bunts it, but it goes foul. So we'll go to a 1-1 count. Turks have won 3 of 5. They've won 1 here, but the Tom Sox have also won 1 here to split at 1-1. And Turks have outscored the Tom Sox so far this season 44-24. Tonight, it's been a 1-1 ball game.
Funny how baseball can work, Mike. What a sport.
Craig fires, and this one again fouled back. Ryan Wynn trying to lay down the bunt to advance Lopez. Doesn't work, so Ryan Wynn's going to have to protect the plate here with no outs.
Wynn giving himself up twice to show bunt, but unfortunate, can't get the run over. So he's got to do it here himself swinging.
Craig, the 1-2, fires. Wynn fires this one over to Perez, flips it over for 2, and there it is, a double play for the Turks here in the 9th. Now Robbie Levy from George Washington walked off the Tom Sox a couple weekends ago. And now with 2 outs here in the 9th, 1-1 ball game. He can be the hero. Gets a good enough look and swing on it.
Mr. Walkoff, I guess you'd say here. Mike, I missed that one, unfortunately. So those vibes I heard were unmatched here at CHS.
Craig, first pitch, too far outside, 1-0. He homered it right over to right field, Matt. Right by that 365 sign. And my goodness, it was quite the night. And that one was also a pitcher's duel. So could be another one here for Levy. Craig fires this one. Levy hits it once one pretty well into left center, and it's going to get down all the way to the wall. Levy's going to go for 2. He's going to get there standing. The relay over to shortstop, and he's going to hold it. And Perez. Now the game-winning run is on second with Caden Ferraro. Just joined the team late. He's had 24 at-bats with the team. 9 hits. There's no more important one than right now.
The Blinn College hitter. JUCO College could be the hero tonight in Charlottesville. And Mike, that Levy double, absolute beautiful piece of hitting, but that just shows you how much this game can hurt knowing that the Tom Sox, if Wynn got one of those bunts down safely and moved that one over the second, that was game. So now the Tom Sox have to do it with 2 outs, and another mound visit here for the Turks.
No movement from the bullpen, so it doesn't look like we're going to get a pitching change here just yet. Could see something late. With 2 outs here, everything matters, Matt. Every ball, every count, every strike, every play. So far today, 1 error, on the Turks infield compared to the Tom Sox. I believe 4, maybe 3.
I think it's 4 total errors for the Tom Sox.
There's a runner on second base.
So right now, Ferraro has to do a job. He's got to find a hole or just get on any way he can for Colby Wallace. Another big hitter on deck. You just have to keep going and get this pitcher very tired in Craig.
Robbie Levy shaking his head on first base. As it looks like the coaches come out and signal to his field about Robbie Levy on second. Now Ferraro, the lefty, faces Craig for the second time, and this one outside for ball 1. Ferraro's last plate appearance, struck out in the 7th. Now here in the 9th, the 1-0. This one just misses again outside, trying to grab that corner of the plate. Can't do so yet. Colby Wallace on deck with Demi Host right behind him. For now, it's Benjamin Craig, Caden Ferraro, the 2-0. That one able to grab just that bottom right corner, so it'll be 2-1. The Turks coaching staff looks like they're talking to Evans to move over a little bit there on second base. Perez right behind Levy on shortstop. Craig fires the 2-1. Ferraro thought about it, but way too low for him. It would be 3-1.
3-1 count, Mike. Craig has to come back at Ferraro down the plate with that get me over the pitch fastball.
Ferraro takes a breath. The 3-1. Craig fires again outside. He's trying to get in the chase. Couldn't do so. He walks Ferraro, bringing up Colby Wallace from ECU. Has 19 hits on the season. 1 error today that got him on base. Batting at .333 on the season. Number 24 will step on in. Looks like we're getting a pitching change here in the bottom of the 9th. Tom Sox trying to walk it off here in a tied 1-1 ball game. We'll see you guys right after the break here on Tom Sox TV. Number 18, Chad Harvey will step onto the rubber to get the final out here for the Turks at the Tom Sox. Have a runner on second base, and Colby Wallace stepping up to the plate. Matt, what do we got on our new guy?
Rising sophomore out of Wingate University, 6'2", 190 from Mooresville, North Carolina. 2-0 on this summer. Also a dual player. He has taken some at-bats. 3 ERA right now with 2 saves and 18 innings pitched. 25 strikeouts and has allowed 6 walks and 11 hits. So none bigger right now than this inning for Mr. Harvey himself.
Harvey still warming up with Robbie Levy on second base. He's going to have a tough job to do with Colby Wallace, who we were talking about before the break. Batting a .333 on the season. Joined the team about halfway through. Has made a lasting impact ever since. Now the righty will face righty and Harvey. Looking to bat Robbie Levy home and potentially walk off the Turks. The first pitch. Wallace takes it outside, 1-0.
Harvey saw 1 appearance this summer with Wingate and only went 2 innings, 2 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. So not a lot this collegiate year with Wingate.
6'2", 190, rising sophomore. The 1-0 count. Fires this one right down Main Street. It's going to be a 1-1 with 2 runners on. He's not really focused on them. Only needs 1 out here to end the inning and send us into extras. 1-1. Harvey. The windup. Delivery. Again, too low. Be 2-1 now. My goodness, you can feel the intensity at Charlottesville High School. Can basically cut it with a butter knife. Fans on their feet. Harvey fires. Check swing. Did he go? Home plate umpire says he does. 2-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Tom Sox 1 run away from ending the game. Turks 1 out away from staying alive. Chad Harvey, the 2-2, fires this one, just missed. Delgado has to slide on his knees, so it'll be a full count now.
And runners will be going, Mike, so if anything finds a hole, that's most likely going to be game, unless they can keep it in the infield.
Levy showed some speed on his double to left center field. Harvey fires. Ferraro swing and a miss from Colby Wallace. And that's going to end the bottom of the 9th. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got extra baseball here on Tom Sox TV. We'll see you guys back here for the top of the 10th inning after the break. Tom Sox have played now 14 games at Charlottesville High School, have won 11 of 13, and there's probably no other better than this matchup between the Harrisonburg Turks and Charlottesville Tom Sox, as we are tied 1-1 headed to the top of the 10th. Mike Bolger, Matt Cabram along with you guys, as we will have a ghost runner on second. It's going to be number 13.
Runner at second base,
Brett Waringer. So it's also going to be a pinch runner as well. So coming to the plate, Jalen Evans, 0-2 today. Shows bunt. First pitch in there for strike 1. If you're looking at our scoreboard, no, it is not down. When we do go to extras, it gets wiped, and then that's how we count the rest of the innings. So just want to put it on a note for our scoreboard guy. Corbin, is he laughing at me? Daniel Powell, the 0-1. Shows bunt again, misses, and it's going to be fouled off. This is Mike Mackey. So 0-2. Powell has gotten out of some incredible situations beforehand, but right now, in a 1-1 ball game, it's the one that matters. Ferraro over on first base, kind of comes on in. Daniel Powell fires this one in for strike 3, just able to grab the corner, and he's 2 outs away from ending the 10th. He's going to have to come against the top of the lineup.
And that's Daniel Powell's 4th strikeout of the night, and for Evans, the 2nd time being on the front end of a Mike Mackey punch-out call, backwards K, his 2nd of the night, but right now it's been all the Daniel Powell show since coming in a big jam.
Cooper Prince at the plate now. Lefty takes that one in for ball 1. We do have action in the Tom Sox bullpen. nothing in the Turks. As Brett Weringer stands on second base, takes his lead, nearly runs into Sam Mumon short. Now Daniel Powell fires this one into the dirt. It's going to miss, so 2-0. Chase Stryker warming up, says Macabrom, in the Tom Sox bullpen. He came out against the Lumberjacks last week on Wednesday in extra innings. Now with the 2-0, Powell fires this one. This one dribbled, pass, and into right field. Brett Weringer is going to get the signal home. The throw all the way to Cale Strickland. He's got to dive up. Runner safe. Runner goes to second base as well. And just like that, Brett Weringer scores. Cooper Prince takes his place on second. And with one out, the Turks take a 2-1 lead.
And for Daniel Powell, you got to feel for him. Unfortunately, that ghost runner starts off the inning. And they were going to eventually crack him. Didn't know how long it was going to be. And the Turks hanging around. The Tom Sox leaving a lot of guys on base. Turks tied it up late. Able to hang around for so long. And now they have their first lead of the night.
So Prince, it will be ruled as a single. Advances the second on the throw. And now, first pitch in there to strike one to Jose Perez, who, so far tonight, he's 0-4. Struck out twice, grounded out once, and he had a fielder's choice in the eighth. That was that play at the plate that, looking back on it, was the game-winning play, really, by Cale Strickland. Second pitch, fires in there, ball one. Now Prince, 180 feet away, make this a 3-1 ball game. And with ghost runners, there's normally one that can cross, but the second one is going to have to be earned for the Tom Sox if that happens in the bottom of the 10th. Powell the 1-1. This one kind of floats there and hangs over there on the plate. Fouled back by Perez. Has 14 hits so far this season. Finding a 3-4-1 coming into the night. Have to face Powell for the second time. The 1-2. Powell fires way too high. It'll be 2-2 now. Christopher Katz on deck, followed by Jack Canizaro in the hole. So right where the Turks want to be here in the top of the 10th with a 2-1 lead. Powell doesn't even look at Prince on second base. Gets a nod from Cale. Now he looks. Double take. Now fires. This one fouled down third base line into the parking lot. It goes. We'll reset for 2-2.
And no 2-2 pitch is bigger than this one, Mike. This is the difference of keeping this at-bat going and getting a massive second out with good hitters rolling around now for the Turks.
2-2, one out here in the top of the 10th. After a Prince single, RBI single, Powell fires this one, just misses the outside of the plate. We're going to get a full count.
Powell has to go right back here at Perez. Perez 0 for 4 today, 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, but his at-bat right here is massive in this game.
Powell takes a breath. Prince takes off for third. He's going to get there. This one launched into deep right center field, going back all the way to Blauser. He's not even going to get a chance at it. It's going to hit off the wall, though. The relay to win is not going to be in time as Prince comes on home and makes this a 3-1 ball game. My goodness, I thought that ball was gone. How long it hung up there. But nevertheless, the Turks take a 3-1 lead and just basically replace Prince with Perez on second again.
That was a long fly ball, Mike, and didn't even think it was going to be playable, but that goes off the top of the wall, and just a big, big hit and a big run there for the Turks. Now, 2-run lead, the largest by any team of the night. And this home crowd here on UVA night here in Charlottesville got a little quiet.
They're going to intentionally walk Christopher Katz to put him on first and put the double play into play for the Tom Sox field. So bringing it up, number 32, Jack Canizaro come to the plate. So far tonight, he's grounded out, flew out, struck out. He was hit by a pitch and then stranded in the 7th. So Cale Strickland and Randy Tomlin will come back out to the mound and talk to Daniel Powell, who had a great night coming into the 10th, and now 2 big hits by the top of the lineup for the Turks. Hand them a 2-run lead Chase Stryker still warming up. Tomlin has not signaled over there yet. Chase is still warming up and throwing, so we're not going to see him just yet. What a ball game it's been so far. For the Tom Sox, win or lose tonight, they will play the Cavaliers at 7 p.m. tomorrow night on the road before facing the Turks again on Saturday at 7:30. That'll be on the road at James Madison. You can catch myself and Dylan Price on that call. And then for the Turks, they will face the Generals 7 p.m. tomorrow night in the Generals' home territory. And now looks like Chase Stryker will officially come in for a late call. And now Daniel Powell will head on out. So we'll get a pitcher's change here in the top of the 10th. A little bit of discussion between Bob Weiss and the second base umpire. Not sure what's going on. They're pointing to left field. Now it looks like we got everything settled. So while Chase Stryker warms up, we're going to take a step aside. Turks take a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 10th. Back to Tom Sox Tea, everybody. Mike Bolcher, Matt Cabram, along with you guys as Jack Cannizzaro steps into the plate to face Chase Stryker, who comes in for Daniel Powell after letting up 2 runs here in the top of the 10th. Turks have a runner on second and first base. First strike in there, or excuse me, first pitch in there for strike 1. It'll be 0-1 count. So far this season, Tom Sox are 1 of 2. Excuse me, 0-2 in extra innings. Second pitch hits the bat of Cannizzaro, so it'll be 0-2 count. Looked like it was going to hit Cannizzaro, but the swing just able to grab it a little bit. He has to actually walk off for second. Just going to head back over to the Turks dugout. And in the past 8 days for the Tom Sox, they've played in extra innings 3 times. They traveled to Covington, where they lost 7-6, and then they traveled to Stanton on what was a very long night for you, Matt. 11-10 loss, and now tonight they trail 3-1 here in the 10th.
I've been present with every Tom Sox extra inning game right now, and right now, I guess, Mike, I'm going to say I'm the kryptonite, so I feel bad for the team. But, hey, a lot of ball left, still a chance.
Stryker delivers that one. Fouled back, so Cannizzaro stay alive.
Saw the walk-off at Covington, saw the walk-off in Stanton, but hopefully, hey, we flip the script around going into the bottom of the 10th. But Chase Stryker needs to be big here. He's got the 0-2, he's got the count he wants on Cannizzaro. Needs to get the batter here in this at-bat.
Stryker came into that Covington game. It was just dealt a bad hand that led to the 7-6 loss. This one fouled down to the Turks bullpen. So we'll do an 0-2 count again. 1 out here in the top of the 10th. Perez over on second base. Katz on first after being intentionally walked to try to turn 2. The 0-2 fouled back. Now we're going to get the 5th pitch of the at-bat with the 0-2 count. Don't see that too often. As Stryker looks for his first out of the inning. Runners take their lead. Strickland gives the signal. Striker delivers. The 0-2, too low. Be the first ball of the at-bat. The striker will have to reassess on the mound now. Staring down Perez at second. Now he focuses back on the plate. Striker takes a breath. Fires now. This one drops, but not enough. It'll be 2-2 for Canizaro. In his last appearance in the 8th, he struck out. He's 1 of 2 for Daniel Powell in that inning. Striker, the 2-2. Fires this one. Dribbled over to Muma on shortstop. Tags second. Fires over to first. Did he do it? He did. Double play for Sam Muma to end the inning and send us to the bottom of the 10th with the Harrisonburg Turks up 3-1. It's rally time. If you've got a cap, if you've got a shirt, turn it inside out. Tom Sox is going to come back in this one right here on Tom Sox TV. Three to 1, your ball game headed to the bottom of the 10th on Tom Sox TV. Mike Polger, Mac Abram, along with you guys. What's been probably one of the most intense games here in Charlottesville High School of this season. D. Mijos will face Benjamin Craig to start off the inning. Craig fires this one, drops in for strike one. David Bell subs in to the catching position for Matthew Delgado. As Craig takes a breath. The 0-1. This one blooped into the inner field, and Evans makes the grab for out number 1. And Matt, that's just not the way you wanted to start that one.
Especially chasing 2, Mike, with the gross running rule. Everybody gets that opportunity to move the runners over, but now you get the out. The runner's still on second base. It's going to take a little bit of a hill to climb for the Tom Sox to try to pull this one off.
So Craig already 1 out in his belt. Colby Wallace on second base as that ghost runner. Cooper Blauser at the plate. 1 out. Craig fires this one. Hit pretty well in a deep right center field. Going back into the wall is Pascal. He's at the warning track. Makes the grab. Colby Wallace tagged up. He's headed to third. The throw nowhere close. And Wallace will advance to third. But if you're Benjamin Craig, you take that. There's 2 outs now. As Sam Muma steps up to the plate, representing the game-tying run, but also the final out of the day.
And yeah, this is it now for the Tom Sox. Down to their last out. Big at-bat here for Sam Muma. Not only does he try to keep this going, but if he can get on via a hit, he'll bring this a 1-run game. But it's all about getting on right now. It doesn't matter. I mean, a swing can tie this game up, but right now, in his mind, that's not what he's trying to do here. Unless, hey, Sammy, prove me wrong.
2 outs. Muma shows bunt. First pitch. Just misses the plate. It would be 1-0 count now.
Probably just playing some mind games, Mike. Everyone knows that he's eventually not going to lay down a bunt here with 2 outs and the game on the line.
Wallace on third. Craig fires this one, loses his hat in the windup process. And he misses there, or excuse me, there will be a 1-1 count now. Called strike by Mike Mackey behind home plate. Muma. The 1-1. Craig takes a breath, fires this one right down the middle. It's hit up pretty well into the infield, though. Evans under it, makes the grab, and ends the game. Harrisonburg Turks storm all the way back from being down 1-0 in a pitcher's duel to win it in extra innings 3-1. They move to 18-9 on the season and get one game closer to being the South Division leaders with the Tom Sox at 20-9.
Mike, we saw a good game tonight. Pitcher's duel, like you said. James Hayes pitched unreal tonight. Even Daniel Powell coming in big situations. Pitching so good, but unfortunately, the offense lacked tonight, and that's probably the biggest reason why the Tom Sox aren't going to get the win here tonight. And it was that Garth runner rule here now in the extra innings, giving them the advantage, and in the end, they just couldn't answer themselves. So, tough loss for the Tom Sox. For the Turks, great win tonight on the road, being 2 games behind. That's a big one here, and all good things can come to an end, and that's what this pitcher's duel was for the Tom Sox.
So Benjamin Craig gets the win for the road team, and Daniel Powell get the loss after an incredible outing there. And that'll do it for us from Tom Sox TV. I want to thank everybody behind the scenes doing everything that they do. If you guys want to check out all of our social media and, content, you can check out our social media pages, website, and again, YouTube page. For Mike Bolger and Mac Abram, we will catch you guys next time. We will face the Cavaliers tomorrow night at 7 p.m. For the Turks, they will face the Generals also at 7 p.m. Both those games will be on the road. And then you guys can catch the Turks and Tom Sox back in action on Saturday night at James Madison University at 7:30. But for now, wherever you may be, have a pleasant night.